Hello, good evening, and welcome everyone back to the Overwatch Watchers All-Star Brawl presented by Star Esports, a double elimination tournament dedicated to the Overwatch Tier 3 community and powered by OmniCoach. Visit omnicoach.gg and use the promo code Star Esports for 10% off your first video package order. But for tonight, we have a grudge match for the finals of the lower bracket. It's going to be Citizens rematching against Redacted. Again, this is the final match of the lower bracket. It is for money. It's on the table. It's anyone's game. I'm 3.007. I'm joined by Sir Waltham.
Good to be here, Threep. Yes, as you mentioned, this is not just for honor, for glory, although I'm sure the teams are going to be enjoying a little bit of that. This is for the big bucks. I mean, both teams here are going to definitely be earning a little bit of scratch to walk away from, but they're definitely going to want to stay in the running for the even bigger cash grand prizes. I'm sure they're going to be fighting hard tonight.
Absolutely. As a note, the loser of this match tonight is still going to walk away with some pocket change, maybe to grab their, coaching session from omnicoach.gg, or instead, the winner then goes on to face Phase 1, the awaiting opponent in the grand finals of the All-Star Brawl, and both teams again from that match will go away with some cash. So this is the stakes are now definitely real. Every match counts. You had to get this far. Now it's real talk.
Yeah, absolutely. It certainly is. And, I don't think it gets much realer than these two teams. These two teams are pretty good. I mean, obviously, to make it this far, they stumbled along the way, but they're recovered. They're back in the game. They're ready to go at it, at each other's throats. This is actually not the first time we're seeing these two teams go against each other. And that kind of throws a little bit of a spanner into the mix here, Threep.
Yeah, it's super interesting. Redacted got knocked out of the winner's bracket by Citizens in round 3. Redacted, that is, then immediately started tearing their way through the lower bracket, whooping team after team. Now Citizens actually ended up losing to Phase 1, so this is going to be 2 series of grudge matches in a row, unless Redacted can pull it out over Citizens, and then they go to beat the team that beat Citizens, so, they're in pretty good standing either way.
Yeah, if that's the case, it's definitely sounding like a little bit of a rock, paper, scissors situation. But speaking of a little bit of the rock, we're going to be taking it to Temple of Anubis, get to see some nice stone pyramids, some stone architecture. That's my segue for today.
That was just so beautiful, Sir Waltham. I'm choking. We had someone hit the pause button way too fast into this what started out as a very exciting intro to Temple of Anubis, and now is going to be a little bit of some technical difficulty action. But while we're waiting, ladies and gentlemen, big shout out to my old man. He's tuning in for the second time tonight, so you know what they say, if they come back for the second time, they must love it. And if you're having a good time out there, don't forget to throw us a follow and even a subscribe if you're feeling so dandy, because we love doing these tournaments, and we're just going to keep on bringing them, and the more people, the merrier.
Yeah, I mean, me and Threep kind of the voices of the tournament, at least on the regularly scheduled Mondays. So we love seeing you guys come and showing the support to the community, to the tournament, to us, whoever you're supporting. Even if you hate me and Threep and you just tune in because you like watching good Overwatch, I'll take it. Just show us the support if you're so inclined. We greatly appreciate it. While we do wait on the disconnect, it does look like it's going to be on the side of Citizens. Default having a bit of technical issues, perhaps ISPs, as Threep likes to talk about so consistently.
But yeah, so I guess that's the funny technical problem too, is if it's just the game crashing or your own hardware having a problem, that at least you can affect that relatively easily. A DC is a whole different story. This is potentially a spicy situation. You can't simply just call up your ISP and get someone on the line and have them fix it. I know, I've tried. It doesn't work like that.
Yeah, absolutely. But, I mean, this is kind of an advantage for us, Threep. While we have a little bit of time, we can talk about what we might speculate to see here on Temple of Anubis. Now, for those of you who caught our last game, I do believe it was between Redacted and Winnable, if memory serves properly, we did see Maxo Dementio on that May quite a lot. At least at the start, it looks like they weren't rolling out on that May. I'm curious if they're trying for a different strategy, trying to change things up, or if, they just wanted to hop on a different hero at the start of the bell.
Need to mention this real quick. If you said 2C like that, to allude to this being a 2CP map, I am just going to be like, I'm going to propose right now. But in any event, in the league, we see a lot of May play. But those are the pros. Those are the guys who they spend their lives playing Overwatch kind of deal. So they have a lot of time to work out the quote unquote most optimal comps. Down here in T3, which isn't too far of a skip, mind you, by the way.
Sure.
You have a little more freedom in terms of what players can be expected to handle and what players are going to be able to get away with. So I like the Mei. As that comp stands right now, I'm either going to be the happiest person on the planet, or we'll just have to see. Doomfist Soldier, love it.
We're definitely going to see some swap ups from this team, I imagine. We're not going to be seeing the 5 DPS roll out, unless they absolutely want to baffle Waltham. It certainly happened before. But yeah, I mean, you talk about the non-meta-ness that kind of sticks around in the T3, how you can still really shine with characters that aren't necessarily as meta-locked. That's kind of exactly what we've been seeing from last month's champions and, current locked-in finalists phase 1, excuse me. They played a lot of Orisa back really before the pulled pork combo became super prevalent.
Yeah.
And I mean, I talked about it, I believe, with Sci-Fi that day. It just kind of worked out to where they happened to off-meta a hero until she became meta, and then it was even more powerful for him. And, sometimes things like that just work in your favor. But, I mean, if you stay locked into the meta, eventually you're going to get left behind if you never change.
100% accurate. And yeah, I guess that actually definitely goes into your favor, because if you've been playing the quote-unquote off-meta hero this whole time, then the meta changes. Oh, look, you've been practicing for that many months. Every other team's going to start scrambling to get it together. Meanwhile, you've been relishing in that chaos, and you're sitting pretty. I super like that. Especially, again, we call it the meta and whatnot, but really you can make the comps work for you. When we say meta, we're really honestly just referring to the, I guess, how do you say it? Almost the most optimal numerically compositions. It's going into the game mechanics. It's number crunching. It's saying, all right, look, the DPS that these heroes can pop out is great. I'm partial to a combo of both of those. It's gonna be the Oreo ice cream sandwich for me.
Yes, currently having the lobby debate advantages and disadvantages of certain types of sandwiches, burgers. But aside from that, we're going to be hopping in here hopefully soon. Still haven't heard much from Default. Not sure what the issue is. Even his teammates seem a little bit baffled at this point.
Yeah, of all the ways to go out in the penultimate match of a tournament, I would argue technical disqualification being the actual literal worst, especially when Rack Attack is going to be coming out on the Reaper, which as a hero, I somewhat am hit or miss on, but when I see him played, I'm always just thinking, how come I can't do that? I have the same double shotguns that he does, and yet I die way faster.
Well, there's certainly something to be said about the level of skill we are seeing here. A lot of players just having hardcore mechanical game sense, and a lot of times, yes, obviously, the mechanical players, the hit scans, the Hanzos, in certain instances, the certain tank players or Anas, the mechanical skill definitely lets you shine, but that game sense is one of those not as tangible things that say, hey, when we need to use these resources, we use them properly, we don't overcommit. It's a tough situation to kind of improve on, and it's hard even to really point out as a player. But I mean, when we get these third-person point of views, we can kind of see, oh, Rack Attack saved this Wraith for him because he knew the Diva Bomb was coming out and wouldn't have cover because Salieri just threw down a shield, or whatever the case may be. It's kind of transcendent, I want to say. To quote Zenyatta, it looks like, though, finally going to get into the game.
So it's not Default. It looks like this might be one of the subs. Excuse me. Goodness, this is just also very exciting. We're back, everyone. This is it. Default is going to be replaced by Tyler. That is going to shake up the Twitch MVP voting beneath the stream, by the way. So don't forget to tune in on that one as we go further into this match. We are going to have another quick pause here as we grab this new sub into the quote-unquote team comms. Very important for Overwatch, being a very team-focused game.
Yeah, as well on our end, it helps to just ensure everybody's not up to any shenanigans. Everybody's kind of in the same chat. They're not communicating outside of a Discord channel with, any coaches, third person point of views, anything like that. Just keeps everybody a little bit more honest. But I want to talk about Tyler here. Now, Tyler, we don't see that often, but Default we see a lot. That is one of the more crucial players, I'd say, on the side of Citizens. So it's really going to be interesting to see how the team performs without them in that role to start.
Yeah, now default being one of the default players on a particular team does mean that this is going to be a little interesting. And now I'm not going to say that Citizens was the possibly expected to win this match, but we have seen these teams go at it before, and Citizens shut them out 3-zip. So now we go into that speculation. So they're down one of their, again, very much so, the pun is intended here, one of their default players. How is this going to shake them up on Anubis, which is a map where, even with the most recent patches, has a lot of snowball potential for a well-coordinated team?
It certainly does. That's kind of the question here. And, we're going to start to see the side of Citizens roll out on defense here first. Tyler going to be hopping onto this Widow. That's a very high skill intensive hero. Not to disrespect Tyler. Like I said, there's not a whole lot we've seen from them quite yet. But you got to think if they're not starting, there's a reason for that. And, I mean, we're just going to have to see how this Widow performs.
Yeah, bonus of Widowmaker being, as far as the coordination goes, Widow clicks heads. That's cool. So Midori on the Mei, that's going to be fine. Salieri on that Orisa, and we have Max Dimencio going into the side here. They look like they're going to be starting that flank, and that is going to be the opening for Redacted's offense as the rest of the team kind of just chills out and starts the poke.
Yeah, of course, the poke battle, one of the the more tedious of the phases. But already we're seeing the kills kind of go back and forth a lot here from both sides.
Yeah, 3 said poke. What he meant was failed dive. And however, though, targets are being murdered now at a rate that technically benefits the offense. Once once they get their feet back under them, Citizens might have a chance at the point, as their spawns will, or rather, Redacted will have a chance at the point, because Citizens is going to have a little longer to get back. But at this rate, I think it'll be back up to a 6-6.
Yeah, and, we talk a lot about, how certain characters affect against certain team comps. Brooks on this Sombra might be a little difficult. You're really going to think they're going to want to lock into Midori or Camboyo to get those crucial hacks. But actually, as I say that, we're going to have a pause coming through here. Not quite sure what it is, just a very aggressive pause call coming through from the side of... It looks like that's going to be Redacted making the call.
Yeah, no player is initially DCing at the moment, and we always like to keep everyone abreast of the happenings that's going on. So this is possibly just a super crazy emergency. People have lives. They're all sitting at their own desks, at their own computers. So humans on the other sides of those keyboards, and who the heck knows what's going on with them. But the R's have been called. It looks like we are going to be getting back into this lickety-split. But this is going to throw their offense into a little bit of disarray. Salieri's Orisa, not the fastest back to the point, but they just have to keep pressing W. A dive, you gotta kind of think for a hot minute, get your bearings, figure out where your hero was. If you were in the middle of a wall run or something, you're probably gonna lose that. Lots of problems when you get that pause going out.
Yeah, I mean, unfortunately for the defense, they're going to have those info sites up. They are currently active, so they're going to know kind of what the plan is. But he said it, the offense really going to have to kind of take a little bit of a stutter step here. As we get going, it looks like we have a few tournament side issues that we're still dealing with, not getting the pause going quite yet. But I'm sure that we will get those resolved very shortly. Also would like to... we have a problem with some of the players' profiles. Those should not take too long to get resolved. But I do want to talk, I was about to go into it, about Camboyo's ultimate right here. That is a very crucial ultimate that can really kind of staunch a push before it even gets going. If it makes a lot of resources be invested by the tanks on the side of the offense, that can really put the hurt onto them.
It absolutely can, and instead of the ultimate, yes, no, there it is, it goes out, and the D-Mech is instant onto Kuya, despite the nano onto Dembek, and that barrier can make an effort. Yes, there he goes down. Kuya is going to get rid of that immortality matrix, which would have allowed for the murder of the defensive players. Instead, it looks like going to be practically a perfect defense. I don't think any single member of Citizens was killed there.
Yeah, and Midori actually throwing that Blizzard out, it didn't land on point, so you might be thinking, why was it so far up? Why was it actually in front of the overpass? But that was perhaps just a chance to restrict the escape routes of the attacking team, allowing the side of Citizens to really collapse on them even harder, knowing that they just get locked in place otherwise.
Oof, and the 3-man hack goes in, the EMP goes out, but instead 2 kills come back. Max Dimencio goes down before they can get any more kills other than Midori. And looks like it's going to be another successful defense from Citizens. Kuya has been demeched. Of course, the minute 3.007 says that. Brooks murders Camboyo and again starts to take the point.
Yeah, right now it's looking very back and forth, and you know, this is kind of the advantage we've been seeing in the recent patch, where now you're not punished as much for trying to defend out to the very last moment. Of course, the point is hardly started to tick up, even 1%, but still Citizens claiming it back.
Wow, yeah, that was nuts. Going back a bit too, when Max Dimencio pulled out that blade, I want to mention that Drake's Nano Boost had already been thrown out to Dembeck earlier in the previous fight. Nano Blade with a hack, I think that probably could have taken the point. Blade and hack, we've just seen it, not enough.
Yeah, not quite, especially when you have that Diva Bomb coming right for you to ruin your day. A good elimination ult from Purple. A hack onto Salieri to get things going.
Yeah, so Salieri getting a little bit of that plunk there is fun, but her hacking in Orisa when her shield's already been deployed is like picking your nose when you should be doing something else. Big Diva Bomb from Kuya though, that grabs two, but Tyler's starting to click them heads as the blade comes out again.
Yeah, this time we're going to be seeing Maxo Dimencio get the Nano Boost, does not have the blade to really combo with it, and they're just kind of dancing around right now. They want to take this a little bit slower. Maxo Dimencio going for the dash, going to get killed because of it.
Ooh, 4-man hack coming in from Brooks, but again, the kills are just huge. Brooks, again, after they do their thing, it's inevitable. They're gonna demech a diva and then kill someone else. And it's just back and forth right now on the point. This is gonna favor the offense if they can keep going, but Salieri has actually switched onto Reinhardt to get back on the point, because while the casters were babbling, it's about 10 seconds left, and Redacted have nothing left to throw into this fight.
Yeah, fortunately, Midori did lose that May Blizzard when the EMP went out, but Max Dimencio trading 1-for-1 right now. That's tough.
Purple understands exactly how to pick apart this Genji, and again, 3.0 gets jebaited for the final time on point A, as Redacted in the red, take this point, finally in overtime.
Yeah, it will not have been an easily earned victory for them, and not a lot of ultimates going to be online either. We're seeing that pretty much as they move forward onto the final point, it's only going to be Dembeck with that primal rage that Winston going to be able to do. A lot of zoning, but still you're dealing with, you know, some very disruptive characters in Salieri, Rack Attack. Midori can just make an absolute pincushion out of you. So there's kind of a lot of moving parts to consider, even with just the primal.
And it looks like with the Primal, they're also going to combo on some laser beams. And yeah, the kills are going to start coming in pretty solid. Because even with a 2,000 HP shield, a laser beam and a giant freaking monkey goes right through that. 2 kills go in, 1 healer, 1 tank. The Diva Bomb onto the point, going to make it happen. But a well-timed monkey shield from Dembeck again, going to make that one of the fastest point B caps I've ever seen.
Yeah, Redacted did an amazing job. They really kind of shook the sleepies out of their eyes. Came back and absolutely took that second point. 1 push. I was talking that they only had 1 ultimate to work with. They got the coalescence up, and they absolutely made those ultimates work for them. That was an impressive move forward by the attacking team.
Impressive in a lot of ways. Having the monkey ready to go. Moira not necessarily your go-to pick for a healer these days. Getting ultimate that quickly, however, and then explicitly contributing to the final push. That's just absolutely fantastic. And then also getting Kuya to throw out the Diva Bomb. Yeah, it gets canceled with the monkey bubble, but the monkey bubble, despite its buff to its cooldown many moons ago, still not really the fastest shield on the West. I think that title actually is going to go to Sigma once he lands, taking it from Orisa. But in any event, so that was Redacted. They complete the entire map with 2 minutes and 23 seconds left. And here, now we get to see Citizens making their push. And it looks like, you know, if this is the comp that comes out from Citizens offense, yeah, that's fair.
It's pretty interesting, right? Because we look at the Citizens comp, and you think initially that these DPS characters may not be the most proficient on the attack. May, obviously, used to be classified as a defense hero. You're good at zoning off enemies, preventing them from coming into your space. And Reaper, he's good once he gets entrenched, not as good for just absolutely pushing into somebody, at least not head on. But I think we might have to see if they can make it work. They are going to be going up against an Ashe, though, so that's kind of interesting.
Yeah, Ashe, even with the Mercy boost, damage boost is not able to get any headshots or picks off of that, which just means more healing ult generation for the attacking team. Citizens, however, going to lose Tyler very early onto the fight to Brooks, who does find that Death Mask head very quickly. And here's the defense now kind of coalescing onto this attack. Speaking of which, coalescence is pretty dang near close.
Yeah, absolutely. It looks like the battle's going to be resolving, in Redacted's favor. They're going to be pulling it back, as does the side of Citizens. And again, we're going to be having that coalescence up. To respond, we're going to have Drake and Brooks with some ults online. Don't think they'll be comboing the Bob with the damage amplification matrix. Certainly not unseen, but just might be a very big commitment. But it is very possible we see Drake drop this amplification matrix just to put the hurt on the Orisa barrier, giving a little bit of stall out.
Yeah, winning a fight with an ult is a pretty solid fight. Bob does go out. Yes, the Haitian Creole has been shouted. The amplification matrix is in, and right now it's roughly a pretty solid even trade despite purple. Nope, there it is. So Bob's presence tips the scales in the defender's favor. Mercy Rez dang near throws an anvil on top of it, and the team kill gong has sounded as Athena. I like to think of her as like a Coliseum announcer, you know, announces that Citizens' attempt, which did throw in the coalescence, has failed, and Redacted now sitting quite pretty with about 2 minutes left and 4 ults coming online.
Yeah, very ironic. The Bob actually got knocked onto the lower ground, where once the battle then rotated there, he was able to capitalize a lot more. Salieri falling very early, and a lot of ults on the side of Redacted. Brooks already having that Bob back up, so we're going to be seeing the rotation come through from the side of
Brooks's Zenyatta placement, Brooks's TNT placement has been fantastic. The ult generation that gets off of hitting at least 3 players from that thing is extremely good. Salieri gets hooked by the pulled pork combo. Mercy with the damage boost. The main tank of Citizens is once again absent for what we have now seen to be an almost 50-second stall. Holy moly.
Yeah, and you're a little bit tense if you're Citizens, if you're 4 of the remaining Citizens member kind of trapped in this little room. You know that there's a very small chance they might push back in and, you know, kind of collapse on you while you're men down. But it looks like that's not going to be happening from the side of Redacted. They still do have a ton of ults, though, as I mentioned from last fight. They didn't use any.
So now it's an interesting situation. Maywalls come out from both sides, both of them going down in pretty solid positioning. The walls also come in, the blizzards are there. There's no kills yet, but the immortality field has been dropped. The walls go up again, and it's just bedlam on the point, and Bob is going to add to it, but Dembek going down from Tyler is not bueno. Kuya going to take a bit of that Diva Bomb. They're going to live. Tyler doing work, takes Bob from the equation. Citizens also find Kuya. Purple staying in mech long enough to make that murder happen, along with Max Dimencio. I think this is finally Citizens' chance at a point take.
Yeah, it definitely seems to me like Purple plays one of those more aggressive divas. We don't see them necessarily prioritize eating ultimates, or at least as proficient at eating ultimates, but they put down the damage, they chase down those low HP targets. And in these kinds of situations where one member can win a fight, that's exactly what you're going to need. But now the pressure is going to be on Citizens. They have about a minute if they want to make a similar time to the side of Redacted's second point attack.
They have a Reaper ultimate, they're gonna have the Moira ultimate, and barriers will probably come up mid-fight if it lasts long enough. This could be a push that Citizens wins, with Brooks only going to be throwing their own Bob into this, which we've already seen Tyler obliterate.
Yeah, however, we see a nice wall come out from the Moira separating, or from the Mei separating off the Moira, preventing that Coalescence from doing a large amount of that healing.
Yeah, Tyler again deals with Bob very quickly, but that leaves the rest of Redacted to deal with the rest of Citizens. They're definitely not going to finish this map in an equivalent time. Rack Attack did in fact throw out their Coalescence. They're almost halfway to another one though, so, you know, Moira is as Moira does. More importantly, Camboyo's going to have barriers, Midori's going to have the Blizzard, and Tyler very excellently held on to that Reaper ult.
Yeah, you don't throw good money after bad, as the saying goes, and they are going to have that Blizzard. They're going to have those barriers. They didn't quite build it up during this last fight, but still, there's quite a lot here, and there's not as much to really kind of counter on the side of the defense. They're going to have Drake's Immortality Field. Max Dimencio might have the Blizzard up, the damage amplification from Dembek, but none of that's really going to stop you from taking a ton of damage by the Reaper.
And Brooks switching over to the Hanzo means more damage comes out, and that burst is having an effect. More kills equals more good times. Max Dimencio throws the Blizzard into this fight. That's going to be the one ult that wins it, so to speak. Brooks is also going to finish off Salieri there. Storm Arrows, the DPS, takes Hanzo's DPS to just previously unheard of levels. And now we're looking at a spicy situation. It's probably 2-fight territory, and both sides have a truckload of ults that can make the difference.
Yeah, absolutely. Brooks on this Hanzo, excited to see how they use it. Hanzo's ult can be one of those that absolutely causes mayhem, or causes massive value, even if it doesn't get any kills, just with the amount of time that the teams have to spend split. But the Maywall's going to be coming out, kind of separating out Salieri.
Yeah, that's kind of nuts. So Max Demencio goes for Salieri first. I love that play. Main tank first. Screw the supports. It's all good times. Dembek's gonna grab Campoyo. Kuya does get demeched. That would have been the great opportunity for Tyler to drop the ult that he's been holding for now about a minute and a half. But they get cleaned up very quickly by Brooks, and we're now into that no bueno situation we were talking about. Citizens throws away an ult. They go onto Hanzo for some burst damage potential. Wow, that's a risky choice.
It's actually going to be throwing away 2 ults because Salieri died right as they were bringing out that bongos. It wasn't able to land on the ground, meaning the ult was lost. It has not been a good day for Citizens in terms of getting their ults canceled. Midori, Tyler, Salieri now all going to be giving up ults in one form or another. However, Brooks already going to have those dragons kind of back on a line. A defensive ult from the Carrots, Lucio. You got to be thinking that they're going to at least take this to overtime with the amount of payload they have.
Yeah, the Diva Bomb has gone out. It grabs nothing. The Immortality Matrix protecting at least one player from their side. Coalescence has come out from the allies and from the Citizens, and it's not going to result in enough healing to make it happen. The tanks doing some DPS work. They murder Salieri. Midori follows. Rack Attack down. Camboyo's doing their best. They can't last. Citizens has all been but removed from the point. Brooks echoing Corey from the Justice. Just some crazy Hanzo play. That's going to be it. Citizens drawing... or Redacted drawing first blood in this particular map. Citizens on the back foot from the start.
And that's got to be feeling very good for the side of Redacted. They are already doing a better score spread than they did against this team a week or 2 ago. You know, they got to be feeling a little bit jazzed up after that. Not to say that the team switches, you know, are the key here. Maybe it's just the side of Redacted having gotten in, cashed their scrim bucks a little bit. But really, man, there was so much good high-level play that was coming out from the side of the defense there from Redacted. Like, I don't have time to go into it. I don't have a screen to show replays or anything like that. But basically, there were the tanks, Kuya and Dembek, pushing into that right room, that inner temple area. There was the Lucio just kind of stalling out the point, wall riding above the area. And then the Hanzo on the left side just shooting everybody at a crossfire angle. It was like everybody was kind of playing their hero in such a soloistic yet synergistic way that it was just lovely to watch.
It's the glory of double snipers without the second sniper. The coordination involved from those two players, again, like Sir Waltham has mentioned, seemingly very individualistic heroes, as we mentioned earlier with Tyler on the Widowmaker. But when you create a flanking situation like that, you don't know where your shields need to go. You don't know where your Diva's defense matrix needs to go. All these directional abilities are suddenly, literally, halved. You have to make a choice. And the way to break it is established. In one, back in the day, it was dive. Now it's, live. And you kind of just have to functionally survive. In this particular situation, we're looking at a non-2-2-2 restriction. That is to say, 2 DPS, 2 tanks, 2 supports. That will affect our tournaments, in the Star Esports tournaments, that is, in the nigh future. But for now, it's unrestricted, so you can kind of do whatever you want, but the hero balances that have been taking place do kind of set this up for a 2-2-2 play. And teams also, as we mentioned, want to get that practice in so that when the meta changes, they're ready. And I think it really favored Redacted in that situation. They played it like they needed to. They gave up point A, but they, there's just good times.
Yeah, and I mean, they gave up point A a little bit sooner than it took them to get point A. But I think that in comparisons, their second point obviously miles ahead of Citizens. But, even if Citizens had capped it, how do you compete against the team that takes point B in what feels like 15 seconds of a team fight?
Yeah, that was one of the fastest things that I've ever seen. So now we go into the map bans stage of this particular tournament. So the saves and bans come in. And it looks like the ban has come out for Hanamura. Aw, that's a shame. So yeah, Redacted is banned Hanamura, but meanwhile, Citizens is going to select Junkertown for their next map, and I am actually literally flabbergasted.
I mean, it's not so shocking to me. I believe Salieri, one of those players we've seen play Orisa for a very long time. Junkertown can be a pretty Orisa favorable map, both on offense and defense. You have the mobile cart, as with you do all escorts, but you could just kind of post it up there, and there's, I mean, there's a reason Pirate Ship was so popular here for so long, because it's just such an effective route to kind of post up on the ship. And even if you don't play it, if you're on defense, you can still take a lot of high ground positions with that arc style shield that Orisa has, and it's still very high value.
I suppose that's the spicy sorry. I think I keep saying spicy situation when it's not really called for yet. But Redacted has noted that yes, despite Citizens selecting Junkertown, they're gonna start on offense. So I think Sir Waltham, speaking of putting in the scrim time, I think Redacted might be onto something here. They may have just played a little mind games, because normally you like to start on defense, you like to get your hold in, and then you know where your win condition so good. You need to get to here, or you need to complete the map. Offense, though, when you're just starting out, you either complete the map or you give the defender that exact advantage on their follow-up. Meanwhile, however, Max Dimencio is going to be locking in Bastion so dang fast, I don't even feel like it's a debate at this point.
Yeah, and on the attack, we've talked about it a little bit earlier, but actually before we get going, it's looking like the call is going right and actually get default back in here. Fingers crossed. Looks like, oh, wait a minute. I don't know if we're seeing a little bit of sarcasm or if we're not going to be able to see these swap outs come in. Oh, no, we're not perhaps going to be seeing these swap outs come in. It's going to be default waiting to come in until perhaps the third game. At least we're going to have to hope that doesn't come back too much on the side of Citizens.
So,
but wow, man.
Tournament regulations be as tournament regulations do. What they say, make an exception for one, now everyone can claim the same exception. So in this particular situation, I kind of understand it. And honestly, this might actually work out for the missing player. If their DC situation is not entirely resolved, now they have another map to get rid of it.
Yeah, absolutely. You definitely don't want to be throwing your momentum off any more than you have to, especially in these kind of games where a drop means you lose all your ultimate charge, which can be so valuable. It's going to be even more valuable as we see that increased ultimate cost come in. Midori immediately starting off strong.
Yeah, Midori is going to rip Drake's head right off their shoulders pretty quickly as far as the map starts. And, ow, Midori actually finds Max Dimencio. Where in the blazes are they set up? Oh, look at that. They had taken the nastiest flank. And that's exactly how you deal with Pirate Ship. Pirate Ship's major weakness being, if you get separated from the cart once, you are either going to commit resources to getting back onto it, or you have to switch up.
Yeah, it's going to be really tough. However, Salieri dropping early might be a little bit of an opening. We're going to see just how aggressively the attacking team is now going to be pushing up. But Purple getting hacked, that's also a very tough spot for that D.Va. That might be a lot of a farming opportunity. Perhaps not.
And yeah, that's the situation you tend to see with Pirate Ship these days, is sometimes Orisa is the only shield tank hero on the point, but in this case, it's both Kuya and Dembek rocking Dem shields. Losing Kuya, you would normally think that's really bad, but Dembek's there with a 2000 HP rectangle to make sure Max Dimencio can live through those nasty purples, and the Baptiste ult goes out and is functionally wasted. But the cart's moving and the Pirate Ship is back in action, so I would call that a quote-unquote absolute win for Redacted.
Yeah, and Purple going to be coming from behind after just getting mech'd up that deep, just trying to get something, not going to quite find anything.
Yeah, the Dragons is actually going to get thrown point blank onto the cart, though. Citizens enacting what I like to call, what the hell was that defense? Again, talk about single ult winning fights. I think, the D.Va Bomb came in there, it destroyed some shields at the very least. But Midori throwing Dragons out in one of the best ways possible. Now the Pirate Ship is definitively ruined. And yes, Max Dimencio onto the Hanzo.
Yeah, Max Dimencio not going to be switching onto the Mei right now, as much as I love seeing them on that character. They might just be going for the Hanzo to help coordinating a little bit of shield break and a little bit of the counter sniper activities, but the EMP to come out to start taking out both tanks and the Mercy.
I like that Tyler grabbed Brooks immediately as they enacted the EMP. It still went off anyways, though, and Redacted is going to be having a good time. Special shout out to Midori, by the way, who literally walked to the point with Redacted. That was kind of crazy.
Yeah, a little bit peculiar. And now we're seeing Max Dimencio switch back onto the Bastion. They figure, why not? We're already a couple steps from spawn. We might as well just hop onto it, get that DPS set back up, see if their snipers can best us once more. Can't necessarily say that I disagree with it. They are going to be getting rid of that Hanzo ult charge, but I mean, they might be willing to do that, especially with Camboyo going down a little bit early.
Yeah, Brooks has been doing some serious work on the Sombra here, and there it is. Midori goes down. The bongos are in. This is a push that Redacted really want to take to point B's conclusion, and based on the kills that they've been popping in and the pace, I think this is going to actually happen.
Salieri with the last minute stall, though, having that fortified, not enough, and really you can't blame the Salieri for that one. Purple, however, might fare a little bit better with the Diva Matrix as well as the Nano Boost.
And Camboyo pulling off one of the most last-minute reses onto Salieri that I've ever seen, allowing Midori to grab a 2K with his dragons, and Salieri grabbing a 2K just because. I guess they had some help from the supports, like a damage boost or whatever. It's not like it's a thing, whatever. Anyways, Salieri's great. The supports are great. Citizens, again, but we've seen this just recently. Citizens have stabilized on their defense. The point is about to be taken.
Yeah, we absolutely have.
No.
And the sleep onto Brooks, that is a tough spot. Not even going to get the opportunity to wake up. Murdered in the sleep. Somebody called the Sandman. We are going to be looking at a rather tough push now for Redacted, who are still choosing to go with the Bastion.
Hey, Bastion actually can take advantage of this. Oh, nope, never mind. Oh, wow. Oh, jeez. That's not going to happen. The Baptiste ult went in, and I thought Bastion was going to have a good time of it. Instead, Tyler said, what about Bob? And Bob and everyone else on Citizens murdered everyone, and they're actually still going to have at least one ult for the next fight.
Yeah, they certainly will. Now it's looking like things are going to switch up to a little bit more of a divey setup. Kuya and Dembek going on to those dive tanks. And a lot of ultimates given up here. Only Brooks and Carrots with any sort of charge. They're going to be going up against a couple of ults themselves, however, Rack Attack and Salieri most notably.
Ooh, Max Dimencio finds the bongos very early on. Midori finds two heads. Tyler grabs the head of their own. I guess in the head hunting contest, Midori takes it. Kuya does find Salieri, though. Kuya, however, is also subsequently demeched. Defense, successful hold.
Yeah, and I mean, you kind of expect that. I don't know if Brooks EMPing was perhaps the best call. Hindsight's 20/20 and all of that. But really, I think that eco pushes maybe what they should be going for right now and not, preventing the enemy from using those ultimates. But who knows, maybe there's some bigger ideas at work there. We are going to be seeing the sound barrier come online from Carrots in just a little bit, a fight or two, and Tyler getting killed opening.
Brilliant dive. Tyler goes down. Camboyo follows. The Dragons this time not going to find any kills, and instead it's Midori who actually goes down. Yes, this is when Redacted are going to take this point. That's 3, that's 4. Salieri going down. You lose your main tank, you lose your sandwiches. Diva is going to get demeched very quickly here.
But Purple has the bomb. Purple absolutely has the Diva bomb. Not going to be choosing to use it, though.
Well played, Purple. I think that is exactly the correct decision to make. 30 seconds left to take point B, mean 2 minutes for point C, and now you have a Diva bomb.
Yeah, and looking at the ults coming up on the other side, you're absolutely going to want that. Max Dimensio's going to have the Dragon Blade. You be sure that they're going to use it within the next couple of difficult fights, especially considering there's only a handful of fights left. And using that Diva Bomb to zone out might just absolutely be the ticket to making sure that Genji Blade rather doesn't get any value.
Yeah, Max Dimencio seems to have a problem with the Diva on Citizen's side. This time they're going to grab Midori before they go down. Dembek gets anti, Drake finds Tyler, so rather Bob is down, but Bob has not shown up in the kill feed like we usually expect Bob to do. Purple does get demeched, they're going around. Camboyo finds Tyler, but meanwhile Redacted has taken just about everyone who matters off of Citizen's roster back to spawn. So I'd say that the cart progress is going to probably come to that last one fight territory.
Yeah, it certainly will, and Brooks getting the hack onto Purple means that the rest of the side of Redacted is going to know that that ultimate is online. Might be a little unclear as to the rest of them, but they still have beat, they still have sound barrier. They're gonna pop both of them at the same time, in fact.
And what a 5-man hack that is. Tyler somehow evaded it, and if their Bob should come online, that could actually be kind of huge. Salieri is going to just grab some stalling action on the cart with his ultimate the minute his hack goes offline. They get immediately, you know, rehacked kind of thing. Purple, back into their mech. They also have their thing. So here we go, Citizens coming back online. Bob is dropped. Purple still has the mech. I think Redacted are going to pull away here just to generate some ults.
Yeah, they're going to pull away back, just kind of do a slight regroup, get back on, get back in full force, and they still have to deal with the Diva Bomb, but they have to now deal with the Hanzo Storm Dragons. It's going to be very tough, as you anticipate. He's going to be Kuya, never mind.
Immediately eaten, unbelievable, and when every ult counts, the Max Dimencio comes out again. Purple has dropped the big boom right there. Of course it finds Dembeck, but only because Dimencio was already dead. Salieri actually grabs Book. It's overtime. Citizens has stabilized. I don't think Redacted can take this.
Yeah, not needing that Hanzo ult so much, it seems the timer is going to tick down. It's going to be a not full hold, but a 3rd point hold here from the side of Citizens. And that's really what they needed. They did not want to go letting Redacted get the full 3 ticks.
Oh dear. Oh dear. Okay. So, I like to say this a lot on Junkertown, and I like to get proven wrong a lot on Junkertown. Not finishing the map, but to the point where Redacted took it, is really solid progress. That is typically followed up by the counter-offensive team finishing the map. So, I'm still going to say it, though, because Redacted have already taken a map from Citizens. Again, they're clearly in it to win it. That's good progress.
Yeah, I mean, you know, we look at it, it's a shame that they didn't get the full finish, but still, you're not in a hurting spot. It's not like they captured it, right onto the 2nd point or just past the first bend on the first, phase. No, they got it pretty much to the back end of the final section. So, you're looking at completion, that's probably like a 90%. You just have to prevent your opponent from basically doing that 90% better.
Yep, and it is 100% possible. We've seen the defenses come out from both sides, and it's just been super enjoyable watching Redacted have so much fun on their offense. Citizens, again, mounting 2 last-minute defenses and then stalling out to the end before point C can be completed. So now we'll see if Redacted's defense can match it. And yeah, Citizens not even going for the pirate ship at the start.
Yeah, we're going to be seeing some
there it is.
Real tight aggression. Purple getting hooked and knocked out, but the Bastion does come out just to try to buy a little bit of space from Dembeck and Kuya. That Bastion just lays down a lace of fire just to give a little bit of leeway.
Is it a counter pirate ship? Like, I guess the British Navy, maybe? Like, if you in any event, though, the kills are still going to be going majorly in Redacted's favor. Citizens can't no, here we go. Citizens has gotten their foothold. They've established on the point. They're even getting some kills, which is very detrimental to the defense. Much longer walk back from spawn. Dembeck, Kuya, Max Dimencio. And based on the point percentage, it's actually now looking very, very good for Citizens. Any kill they lose gets back very quickly.
Yeah, and Redacted in a tight situation here. It's looking like Carrots and Brooks going to be kind of in the backline while the cart just keeps moving. They're fighting a battle while the war is being lost. That's not a spot you want to be in. Even if you have Bob, how are you going to intend to use it in this situation?
Yeah, that's that kind of strategy that's the problem of being caught out there. I actually don't even agree with Rack Attack throwing out that ultimate there. It technically allowed Salieri to finish off Kuya, but who's counting? The press now from Citizens going on to point B as they seemingly effortlessly take point A. This is gonna looking like a lot faster so far than Redacted's offense.
Yeah, just the pirate ship comp in general seems a little bit more proficient coming from Citizens, but as I mentioned, Salieri, very good Ori, so kind of not surprised to see that we're seeing some very prolific tank play. Also, Purple been putting on some pretty good performances.
So now we're seeing ults come out in a quote-unquote stalling fashion, but Purple actually manages to find Kuya. They burn Carrots' reds so quickly into the fight, and now Bastion's gonna burn a shield, and Kuya finds Mudori. Kuya goes down again, and so now it's again like, what do you even do? Counter Bob, that's what you do! Brooks throws out the Bob is on the field, and the murders still come in for Citizens.
Yeah, Citizens not letting up off of the gas. Salieri going to be dropping, but Tyler just being a fiend on this Bastion right now. So quick to pop that tank form, so quick to just lace into them. And, you know, we saw Kuya die on Hog very early into that, wasting the res from Carrots. They're actually whole hogging when Purple dropped the Diva Bomb right in front of their face. Whole Hog couldn't take a breather, couldn't refill their health. There was no Orisa shield to save them. So just stuck in a bad spot between a rock and a hard place.
Yeah, it's a little insane. That's a lot of bad times to be in if you're rocking that defense. You do, however, have at least one ultimate. Brooks now switching on to the, or rather not switching on, but having a fresh Hanzo to play with is not going to be great. Mudori has their own dragons to play with, and Rack Attack has an amplification matrix. Dragons come out first, though, split the team right down the middle. As the Bastion rolls the point, the Mei wall is in place. It gets ripped down so quickly thanks to the cart's progress, and Dembek goes down. Ooh, Redacted need to get out of there. Oh, they pull the res off, though. That's nice.
Yeah, it's very nice. There's going to be the Immortality field just to keep everybody up. And now it's looking very tough. They finally get the kill on the time. That might be doing it the res.
Yeah, that's going to be definitely unresable as Redacted retakes that territory. They grab Salieri. Kuya does go down as kind of like a, hey, you know, screw you kind of kill. But the fight is definitely won by Redacted. And now we're going to see what is either going to be the longest hold in existence, 4 minutes and 20 seconds, or Citizens just going to amass the ults and punch through. Tyler has now switched on to the Widowmaker, so we're definitely not seeing any more of that Bastion.
Yeah, and, you know, I wouldn't expect it. We talked about how hard it is to set that up. The Dragons coming through not look like they're going to find much purchase. You don't need Dragons when you have just a standard arrow.
Yeah, a tree trunk is just as good as a dragon if it hits you in the head. And big anti-nade comes out from Rack Attack. Not going to be any kills coming off of that. Again, yeah, it looks like Citizens are building ults.
Yeah, and a good Mei wall coming out from Mencio, going to be preventing Purple's mech from finding any purchase with the self-destruct. Another anti-nade though coming out. Kuya not going to be any help.
Yeah, and then even the bongos are going to come out just to make this happen. Carrots goes down. Salieri's bongos are gone, as is Salieri themselves. But again, the res is real. The Dragons is right there to find it though, but it is actually instead just going to grab Tyler. This is an interesting push. So many kills from both sides, but Brooks and Hanzo is just deadly enough to make it a problem.
Yeah, absolutely. And we're seeing right now it's going to be a little bit of a stagger here as there's not going to be everybody on the point to contest. If they even can, they need to get on. There you go.
Yep, so they do start contesting. The bongos are out. That's going to help massively for making that contest happen. And the Baptiste ult even comes in to make it happen. But just Kuya goes down because Purple was tenacious. The bomb is here. The bomb is gone. But Max Dimencio, they too are, yeah, there they go. They're gone. Because Minori's on the Hanzo, and that means tree trunk-sized arrows going into players. Drake is following. This is not looking good for Redacted.
Yeah, it's not, but still we're seeing Dembek be kind of pretty resilient around the shield, and Kuya saving their life hooking Tyler. That was a little bit of a comedy act.
Yeah, that's a little nuts. The tanks be as tanks do, and Roadhog, despite his massive health and his bait potential, the Tracer's out, but Brooks has already built up a bomb, and Purple goes down! It's 220 left, and Redacted are holding!
Yeah, and this is a tough situation. Rack Attack gets away, the Ana in this little alcove area, not wanting to peek and give away their position. That's very tough. The Mei wall going to come out just to get them back settled with the team. But man, some excellent performance coming through. Jeez.
Yeah, it's tough to say. Did Citizens blow it? Did Redacted just perform that well? Probably a little bit of column A and a little bit of column B, but Citizens going to be back, and they're going to be back with 3 ults. It's only a nano and maybe bongos for Redacted. And the bongos are down. No, the bongos are gone, so that's fine. And the dragons are eaten! That's 2 ults nullified by Redacted. No kills yet, but that's just such a bad situation to be in, as the Blizzard goes in and Salieri's already dead.
Yeah, man, that was a lot of investment for the side of Citizens, and they just could not find too much with it. The fight is still going on here. Dembek getting slept, but woken up by Purple. Dembek, we've seen, can hold point for a little bit. We'll have to see if they're able to this time around.
Yeah, nap time for Dembek, I think, was going to be nap time for Redacted, but Drake is now on Soldier. I'm back on time. Soldier Dad in here with kills. That's 2. It's good times. Dembek even goes down again, though, but their tenacity is huge. Brooks back onto the Tracer. Dude, just stick with it. It's working so well.
Yeah, but now we're playing that game where Redacted needs to keep one person on point at all times. And there's a lot of CC going around. The kills starting to go in favor of Citizens, though.
The Hammond gets pushed away. They even go down. The Diva Bomb is there. Brooks finds Tyler with their own Tracer because of course they do. Bombs are now on the point by Citizens. It's not going to find anyone. Redacted still pulling in the kills despite Mudori fighting back a little. Okay, Kui's on the D-Mech. This is just total brawl, but Redacted still keeping it.
Yeah, Kuya gonna be taking the D-Mech, though they can just remech back into the point. And Max Dimentio's gonna have those mines. I'm curious to see if they're gonna switch or stay. But the stall that came out from that last fight from the side of Redacted, just unbelievable, to be honest.
Yeah, now Tyler's onto the Dynamite. They almost get picked off before this fight can even begin. It's gonna be, Midori finds Brooks! The opening pick is there! If Citizens are gonna take it, it's gonna be now. Tyler, Dembeck rather, walking right into the Dragons. They're gonna live. The Nano Boost is out. It goes on to, and oh goodness, it's just kills. Max Dimencio gets anti-nated. They are going down, but Drake finds Tyler. No more ult generation for you. A Diva Bomb coming out from purple. They're gonna grab Dembeck as barriers goes in.
Yeah, Dembeck gonna be getting dropped because of the boop coming through from Camboyo. That is tough, and there is not looking like a lot of stall from the defenders now.
Oh, that's it! The Doomfist was almost there, but Citizens finally push it through, and that's what happens if you don't finish the map on your first offense. It gets taken out from under you, despite a fantastic performance.
Yeah, that was... I don't think Redacted should feel bad about that. Yeah, they should be a little disappointed that they didn't get that fight win, but really some strong plays, some amazing stall coming out. Brooks performing like a demon on Tracer, if you're asking my opinion about it. But as we usually like to plug here, don't really care about my opinion, folks. We want to hear what you guys think. So if you think there's somebody popping off, be sure to vote in the Twitch MVP chat down below. You guys know where it is, bottom right, if I'm not mistaken. Man, 3, what do you think about that last fight?
It was pretty intense. Again, at that last minute, it's gonna be that opening pick. Both teams running the kind of compositions, especially on defense, where, man, you lose one hero. Oh, that's it. That's it, man. It's already a 5v6. You're immediately at a disadvantage. And Citizens came in and they took advantage of it immediately. Redacted had some answers, and it just wasn't working. I don't know if the damage wasn't there because, you know, Brooks had been eliminated already, but the fact of the matter is the 2 ult eating wasn't there this time, and Citizens were able to push it through. That does, however, mean by extension that we get a much more exciting match. We're tied going into the 3rd map.
Yeah, and, you know, I can see why Brooks allowed that situation to happen, right? Because they were playing as the Tracer. They were going for that pulse mine to get that early pick. It's just that, you know, sometimes you don't do enough damage or you don't land that pulse mine, so you end up being the one picked. It goes the other way and it costs you the map. It's a tough spot to be in, one where you need to perform. And, you know, I don't blame Brooks for making the play.
No, not at all.
Obviously, because of the death, the execution left a little bit to be desired, but, you know, perfectly reasonable plan of action.
Yep. And that's just it. You put your money on the best odds. The best odds, you know, depending on what casino you're at, still are probably going to be under 50%. So it's that situation. And, you know, it's fine. Redacted losing this map, still not the end of this match for them. We're going into the 3rd map. Citizens, now the jury is out onto what map they are going to ban. Meanwhile, however, we're going to plug it once again. Drop us a follow, a subscribe if you're feeling real spicy. But otherwise, we love bringing the content to you. So the more you keep tuning in, the more we make it happen.
Yeah, absolutely. We love seeing that. It definitely helps us keep our positive mental attitude, our PMA up, so we can bring you all this fantastic content. But speaking of bringing things in, now it looks like we will have Default hopping into the lobby. Going to be having just, you know, the fit go back in. So, you know, we're going to be seeing kind of a little bit more of a standard composition coming out from this team, or at least a standard cast coming out from this team. I feel like Midori still not one of the most prominent players we've seen for this team. Eincrow, if I'm not mistaken, often does come in on occasion, but For whatever reason, Midori going to be in for the time being. And, serviceable, if Junkertown is anything to say. Serviceable performance so far by both sides.
Yeah, Redacted coming out immediately taking a win instantly beats their previous record against Citizens, which again was no wins, no maps taken. So Citizens coming back onto Junkertown, ripping that right out from underneath Redacted. Yeah, that kind of tracks. They chose the map to begin with. The fact that Redacted were able to push them right to overtime, that should say to Citizens, oh, no. This ain't going to be that easy. You're not going to just come back in with your 3 wins. And so Redacted, after Citizens ban Oasis, Redacted immediately grab Ilios, another variation on the control point map, but very different and very interesting in its various compositions.
Yeah, and again, given the strength of the Orisa that we've seen come through, honestly on both sides at this point, Dembeck had some pretty stellar plays on Junkertown. What that says to me is that Well is going to be one of the, to me, more fascinating modes to watch. I'm hoping we might see some Pharah, but this is just one of those environmental maps. In general, I'm not just talking Well, but overall, that just kind of encourages so many environmental kills, probably the least on Ruins. But, sitting right in the middle of that, we're going to be hopping onto Lighthouse, probably the second most friendly environmental kill map.
Yeah, especially since we're even going to be starting on Lighthouse, which has a unique set of parameters for the requirements for an environmental kill. You have some Pharah action you can play with. Hammond has been known to get his fair share of oops, and Lucio, a hero that kind of drops out specifically depending on what map you're playing, sees a lot of play on this map because of his right-click ability, which sends the opposition flying.
Yeah, and, speed boost definitely in a game where you're trying to get to the point before the opponent does not hurt. We're going to be seeing the Lucio's speed boost be utilized by both sides, it seems. Camboyo and Carrot's going to be doing a little bit of a DJ dance-off on point. But on the other side, at least at the gate, we're only seeing 1 tank if vision serves. There we go. Now that Kuya switched, we're going to be seeing 2 tanks, a little bit divey from the side of Redacted.
And yeah, that's going to be an interesting composition coming up from both sides. It looks like neither team is going to resolve to a 3-3, but instead Max Demencio is actually showing up on a Tracer, and so hang on a second, gonna wig out about that for a hot minute.
Yeah, absolutely. Of course, Brooks not going to be on the Tracer, instead opting onto the Sombra, and an early eject from Kuya. That might be a little costly on the side of Redacted.
Yeah, that's a no bueno situation, though, and Purple is going to start doing some serious murders. Yeah, I like the Tracer pick. I was watching the damage go in. Not good. Oh, speaking of those Lucio boops, Carrots is going to get a farewell, give a farewell present to Purple, who did such a good job in securing that point.
Yeah, very much so, and now we're kind of a little bit more standard of a tank lineup in line with the meta that we usually see from Redacted. Going to be seeing the Hog Ori coming out, but dealing against a Mei and Reaper, perhaps not the easiest targets for this tank lineup to go against.
No, it can be very difficult for a team to coordinate those murders, especially since default's Reaper, truckload of HP and a lot of getaway, and a lot of problems for Midori as well, or rather they're able to survive quite easily. However, that's not gonna matter if you're Redacted and just decide, what if we killed everyone else first?
Yeah, the DPS not quite able to perform their job to an optimal degree. Midori going to be taking that late bullet to the dome by Brooks. Receives a little bit of a damage amp by Mercy. No surprise there. Ash so good with the damage boost that allows you to instant one-shot the 200 HP heroes. You like to see it, but however, both teams still looking a little bit dry on ults. Midori, Purple, and Salieri getting pretty close as his rack attack, but Max Demencio, the only one from their team who's ready with, an offensive, aggressive ult.
Yeah, speaking of some offense and aggression, Brooks having switched onto this Ashe looks like it's just what the Ilios doctor ordered for Redacted. They're just murdering left and right. They can almost practically do no wrong. Salieri even gets hooked so early into that fight, you have to remember that Orisa actually has an ability that stops that from happening.
Yeah, absolutely. You talk about what the doctor ordered, and we are in Greece. Sigma? It's exactly what Sigma ordered, I imagine. That's exactly what he...
I'm just saying, he's also a little insane. Like, only a little, though.
Absolutely. And the big hook onto Midori. That's a great opener.
Speaking of saying how difficult it was going to be to kill those two heroes, Default actually finds Kuya. The bomb goes in. It's going to grab the immortality field, so, like, well done there. Default's going to toss his ultimate into 3! Grabs so many! Camboya removes Brooks. All of a sudden, Citizens is back. They even took the point while no one was looking. Dembeck has a lot to say about that, specifically in the form of bullets to heads. But that was a solid play from Citizens just now. It's not over, by the way.
Yeah, we're seeing the reclamation attempt come through Redacted, but Kuya and Dembeck just not able to pull it out, both utilizing their ultimates. Kuya's you probably feel a little bit more comfortable using, but Dembeck you might want to get that back if it was possible.
That is now the picture in the dictionary you put next to got him when it gets put into the thing. Also, Brooks, by the way, could you calm down for 10 seconds? We need to commentate on this, not watch you murder everyone as Default goes down once again to a headshot. Again, we're talking about opening it at a 6-5 advantage. Brooks is making it happen.
Yeah, absolutely. And the purple going to get pulled in on that D.Va now, looking like they know where to go. A lot of ults going to be invested. Dragons and Bob and Coalescence and Valkyrie. A lot of resources to be put into this fight.
Yeah, speaking of one-fight territory, though, it looks like Citizens are aiming to make it so. If they can push this to 99, aka overtime, which they have definitely done so, now Redacted is going to have to hold this to the end or enact a glorious overtime retake of their own. As now Citizens, with a couple ults coming online, have a solid chance of taking it from a team, Redacted, which also has 2 ults coming online. Fancy.
Yeah, I mean, it's you got to think that if you're on the side of Citizens, you try to get 1 or 2 pushes in. It's going to be tough. It's going to be tight. You have to take them fast, which they may not even be able to do given the tank line, but just try to build up those ults as fast as possible. Midori going to have a lot of spacing capabilities here with this Blizzard.
Yeah, Brooks, actually, it looks like the Blizzard is going to let Redacted take the point from them freely. Kuya goes down, gets immediately rested. That's going to let Dembeck, however, get eliminated. The rest of the immortality field expires. Kuya dies once again because, 2 shotguns kind of does that. But a bomb gets thrown onto the point. This could be the big one.
Yeah, that certainly will be, as now we're starting to see Citizens really get aggressive here. Getting set up on that point was key to their victory because once they did, Midori just able to throw that Blizzard on, knock Redacted out, and because of that, they get the first point, they're 3.
Yeah, that was fantastic. Redacted demonstrating that there is a massive difference between fight control and map control. They snuck the point away from Redacted exactly 2 times, and it literally won them the fight, especially there at the end. Again, with that Blizzard sneaking right along in there. No one tell me Mei isn't a rogue. She is at the very least Satan in tiny Chinese form.
Very much so. However, we are now going to be hopping on to Ruins. Surprised that we're not seeing more snipers from the side of Citizens. I know Default a little bit familiar with that Widowmaker, and Ruins one of the better sniper maps, but we are going to be seeing the Ori come out from both sides. Purple choosing to run the D.Va. We've seen them play pretty much D.Va very consistently this entire time, not opting for the Roadhog much anymore.
Yeah, and that's interesting given how fun that would be to run against, pulled pork v pulled pork is a thing. I think they're planning on running that D.Va as a kind of defensive hero, and that kind of tracks, especially given Brooks is so just gosh darn capable on this hash. Meanwhile, Max Dimencio reminds everyone that Hanzo's still a hero who exists, as Brooks once again eclipses the kills. It's a 6v4, the D-Mech is in, gonna be Redacted taking this one at the start.
Yeah, and even though there were no kills that came from it, that's really largely in part to the pulled pork. Purple gonna be just taking a quick jog before Kuya guns him down. But we saw the hook land onto Default in that Reaper situation. And because of that, they have to Wraith form, otherwise they're gonna get fragged out. They don't, but they have to retreat, and that requires resource investment from the side of Citizens. It requires a little bit of healing from Rack, a little bit of healing from Camboyo, and now we're seeing Midori get taken out early.
And that's just ridiculous. But again, pulled pork is pulled pork because it is a pick composition. You pull, you get the pork, and you murder someone. The murder is not really in the name, but it's kind of assumed. It's Overwatch. Speaking of murders, Midori doing some murders of their own.
Yeah, we're going to be seeing the amplification matrix come out. Again, Midori not getting away from this total bugbear in that situation.
And I super like the Bob placement, goes right behind the Orisa shield, gets in there, does some damage. Orisa again sets up kind of in the backline there, but Brooks again is just capable of placing these dynamites in places where you're literally never expecting it. Right over the shields, right over everything. Also, let's talk about Kuya's whole hog murderousness there. Talk about an ult that went out of fashion and came back.
Yeah, looking to make sausage out of his victims in that situation, going to be shredding them to fine bits. But now we're still seeing a lot of ults on the side of Redacted, or at least a fair number of ults on the side of Redacted. They are not flush with them, but really the only thing to answer, Purple and Salieri up in the immediate. We're going to be seeing the Bongo go out to start.
And there it is. So Default finally going on to that Widowmaker to make it happen. Apparently they've been on there for a while, or at least doing a lot of headshot damage because the kills are here. Max Demencio goes down. They get rezzed immediately. Diva Bomb goes in. Might be too high to... Nope, not too high to do anything. Baptiste goes down. Default grabs Hanzo as well. This could be the big chance for Redacted to get moved off the point, but it could be stall time.
Yeah, and there's still going to be quite a bit of leeway here for Redacted. They did basically get it all the way up to 94. That's basically one fight. You start to talk about that high 80 range as being the desirable let-go point. You like to hold it as long as possible, so you give yourself that wiggle room, but still, you're feeling pretty good in the situation. However, what's not going to be feeling good is the ultimate economy from Redacted. Nothing to catch that Hanzo ult from Midori, but the dive still coming in. Not a great effect, though.
So it's even trades back and forth, but I'd rather not lose my heroes. Wow, okay, hang on. No, looks like Citizens might be able to pick this one out thanks to some seriously solid tank play coming out from Citizens and maybe some help from the Bongos.
Yeah, and you got to be thinking that the logic there behind Redacted makes a little bit of sense. They have a lot of snipers. Snipers can be pretty dive weak, especially if you catch them out of bounds. Camboyos, for example, boosting default, you jump Midori, and, you know, they're kind of stuck in a very tough spot, but now they're going to be switching to a little bit more of a dive resilient composition. Default onto McCree, rack attack on the Brig with that shield bash, able to just wick away a dive like a water off a duck's back.
Yeah, speaking of which, talk about flashbangs real quick, and tank murdering potential of McCree. Default showing some proficiency on a Widowmaker. That proficiency tends to get applied quite easily to McCree. And that proficiency is now clearly on full display as they throw damage after damage, bullet after bullet. Purple finds the kill onto Drake. Sorry about that, having that shift away to save you from that, Moira. Real shame.
Yeah, a little bit of a shame. The Coalescence and EMP going to be on for the now attacking team, and it is getting to the midnight hour for Redacted. They're looking like it's going to be a little bit tense. They're going to be going up against the high noon as well as the Storm Dragons coming through. And not going to be able to catch it this time around with Kuya.
Speaking of the midnight hour, the high noon goes out, grabs nothing. It's typically called McCree's most powerful reload ability in the game. Meanwhile, Rack Attack going to be throwing out that Brigitte power. Brigitte said that she can't really do a lot of damage or help on the point when she's not around. Instead, Camboya's going to grab the rest of the default. Salieri's Mongos go down. Dueling Diva Bombs. Who's going to go down? It's Kuya and Purple with 2k each. I don't even know what you call that, but Rack Attack finds Brooks in the meantime. Camboyo gets doven by Dembeck. It's looking pretty decent for Redacted, but it's only a Tracer v Brigitte, and we all know who wins that fight.
Yeah, this is going to be very close. Max Demencio having to play on their toes, just trying to hold out as long as possible. It's going to be Salieri on that Wrecking Ball to come out. And we're now seeing Brooks hop back onto the Wrecking Ball. Rack Attack holding it down.
I can't wait until Brigitte's shield gets nerfed, then a Tracer might have a chance of winning it, but otherwise you all know how that goes down. It's just not enough health. Salieri finds carrots. Midori on the Doomfist getting some kills of their own. More kills for Doomfist. You have to say if Doomfist gets more than one kill, that's going to be pretty much it, ladies and gentlemen. And yeah, that's going to be it. Overtime goes down. It's Citizens coming away with the Ilios map. We are now officially in match point territory.
Yeah, Redacted really needs to kind of shape it up. They were looking so good on a couple of these maps in a couple of moments, particularly on Bruins. I think that they looked a little bit stronger, but now they have to kind of be playing the hot seat situation. They have to play into the side of Citizens. If they do get the win here, Citizens still going to get map choice. That's a tough spot to be in, and you know, it's not impossible. We've seen them, you know, reclaim a little bit on Temple of Anubis, so they've claimed some honor here for sure. It's just, can they reclaim all of the honor and the cash prize?
Yeah, we're talking double digits versus triple digits, people. Like, this is, again, like, we're talking, like, serious money. More importantly, however, Redacted, yes, they have the map pick here now. I don't know. You just picked Ilios after Citizens banned Oasis. I don't know if that was bait or not. If it was, you fell for it. If it wasn't, you still got whooped. So now what do you do?
Yeah, it's a tough spot. What we know for sure they can't do is Lijiang Tower or Hanamura. Hanamura having been banned a little bit earlier, and Lijiang Tower, same map type as Ilios, so we're not going to be seeing those two in a row. We're also going to be waiting to see what Citizens ban, and it's looking like Nombani. And I'm kind of not surprised considering how ably Brooks has been playing those Tracers, those Sombras.
Yeah, that's super 100% makes sense. That being said, however, you know what one map is left, Sir Waltham, that Redacted actually won that type of?
Horizon Lunar Colony is going to be my answer.
It's Horizon Lunar Colony, correct. Ding, ding, ding. $32,000. So, interesting. What does Redacted do? Do they pick the map knowing that it is just such a dog to get through?
Here's
and
hoping.
Citizens gets to pick the side first. That's the key.
Yeah, I mean, I'm always going to be on the side of rooting for Horizon Colony. Redacted keeping me on the edge of my seat for what feels like minutes. Not gonna be Horizon Lunar Colony. It's gonna be Dorado. We'll get him next time.
So they're playing a card, right? You know, they're making a choice here. They've already lost an escort map. They're going back. They're also, I think, picking up like what you just said. Dorado's another one of those maps where you might be seeing Brooks on that Ashe again. Maybe even the Widowmaker. I don't know. We've seen Default, though. They're also kind of proficient. And then you also have the added advantage of Max Demencio getting to play the Tracer. I like the choice. I like this choice from Redacted.
Yeah, it makes sense. As much as I want to see Horizon Lunar Colony, I think strategically, Dorado, a pretty good choice for the now hot-seated team here. Going to be seeing kind of a tough position for them to be in. And I think that Dorado has the potential to get some real swing back here. You know, I want to say that I feel like it's Citizens I've seen play the Pharah just a little bit, and I would really love to see that Pharah come off just for the first point if we start seeing anything. But with the proficiency that we've seen Brooks lay down with that Ashe, I'm honestly not surprised if it's not even crossing Citizens' mind.
Yeah, it's a shame, but the ability of both teams, Default and Brooks respectively, to rip that Pharah right out of the sky is pretty high. Max Demencio gonna tease us a little with it there. Speaking of which, by the way, this is, again, match point territory. Tensions are high, and the players are gonna be strutting their stuff. So you're gonna wanna grab that Twitch MVP poll before the casters announce it, because this could be it, or we could be in for yet another map of Overwatch. So maybe you hold your vote to the last minute. I don't know, but you got to make it happen now.
Yeah, or you could be, you know, not to discount them, there could be some of those die-hard fans in there. I'm seeing chat, not going to name names, seeing chat list off some people that they think are already popping off, that they're just fans of right out of the gate. You love to see it. I love to see these teams kind of have that community following. So, you know, you're one of those people. Definitely throw your vote in, you know, now, whenever. You want to be the buzzer beater. That's absolutely cool, too. But speaking of buzzers, we're going to have 35 seconds before we get on to the attack phase for the side of Redacted. And 3, what are we seeing here?
We're seeing Default on the Widowmaker. And that's pretty much it. You know what we're not seeing on defense, though, which I am literally flabbergasted to not see, is pulled pork. This is one of the most pulled porkable points in the game. And you're running a diva. So, okay, you know, purple on the diva, though, I get it. Their performance has been nothing short of exemplary. So, fine. But Max Demencio, if they come out there on that Pharah wall, it's going to be good.
Yeah, I think that they're going to have a rough time against Default. Default, one of those very strong players, as we're already right out of the gate, not even giving Max Demencio time to breathe.
Default, no. Speaking of which, by the way, real shout out quick to Sniper Dan, who subscribed at Tier 2. Glad to have you for at barest minimum 1.5, maybe 2 more tournaments, as Drake is going to celebrate Sniper Dan's subscription with just a lot of kills. So yeah, a halt comes out, by the way, now on the defense, but there was no hook to take advantage of it, and that's just such a shame, because Kuya has now DMAXed purple, Max Demencio has now killed purple, and Redacted's offense has literally not stopped since the cart started rolling.
Yeah, and Midori is still making the trip back from spawn because they were not able to be rezzed by that Mercy. Mercy only having 1 res in the pocket, otherwise would be OP. Questionable whether it is now or not, who knows. But that being said, there is going to be just a little bit of time for Citizens to recover and try to stall out, but it's looking sketchy with 3 members going down.
Yeah, big oof as Brooks and Kuya, DPS duo, once again demonstrates some real solid proficiency with their heroes of choice. Purple gets DMAXed in that fight. I almost literally didn't even catch it. Rack Attack is the last surviving member. The point is finished. There's 5:20 left on the clock. Redacted looking very strong.
Yeah, and I kind of like how much respect the side of Redacted is playing Citizens. They are not letting Purple build up that ultimate charge. We've seen that Diva Bomb from Purple just absolutely lay into this attacking team, and they definitely do not want to let that happen again. Of course, when you win fights fast, you're going to prevent a lot of ult charge from going through either way, so I think that that's just kind of par for the course, but still, it's got to be something that they're conscious of if they want to be moving forward against this team.
Yeah, and move ahead they're going to be doing. Again, they're coming around the first bend here, but now a double snipers switch back from Citizens. Midori hopping onto Hanzo instead of the Mei already is going to be faced with a Dragons right in their face as a result. Max Dimencio still not under any threat. They throw the barrage into a corner of the wall there. We'll call it a zoning barrage. But Default is going to have infrasights, and now it's going to be a little difficult for that Pharmacy to stay in the sky.
Yeah, I'm being sincere. I think that Max Dimencio, one of those players that just, kind of gives a little bit of attitude to the team. So is Default as they take the head of Kuya.
Oh, but the halt. What a beautiful play. Not only does the res come in, but Dembek was there with the halt, apparently, to find the Widowmaker. Salieri's actually on a Hammond right now to do some damage. Purple's gonna get bobbed before their bomb can get anything other than an immortality field. Redacted again. They're getting stalled here a bit by Salieri's Hammond, but that's not going to last very long. Default the last surviving member. And the point goes through. Wow.
Yeah, this is a little bit more of the Anubis reminiscent Redacted right now. Camboyo getting hit by the dynamite. Gonna be dying late. That's not a spot you want to be in. That is the one character who can't get rezzed.
Yeah.
But we're finally seeing the swap off of the Pharah, much to my dismay. But,
Alas.
I think it's appropriate. You need to.
Yeah. It's the right play to make. I super agree with it. Also, Max Dimencio even going to be grabbing onto that Genji, which we've seen them with some good proficiency, and maybe this particular map's going to make it happen. But now we're actually going to see a Sombra out from Midori, and maybe this is their good stall strategy here. Build up some EMP, make it happen. This is a really nasty choke point for Redacted to push through, so I can see this being a little bit of a difficulty. And yeah, Hack goes on to Brooks. Boops are starting to come in. Citizens, I think they're going to be looking at something pretty close to a team wipe here.
Yeah, it certainly seems to be the case. Dembek looking like they're just going to get collapsed upon as the rest of their team dies. And we were seeing some good ult economy coming from Redacted, but Brooks switching onto that Reaper means they're going to be dropping that Ashe ult right into the pot. Drake going to be having the amplification matrix, assuming they don't change. It looks like they're debating it, might not, however. And on the other side, Raktak the only one with any ults, so these next couple pushes probably going to be relatively dry. Just a couple support ultimates for both sides. And right now, it doesn't look like the side of Redacted is bothering to go for the high ground. I think that's a little bit of a peculiar choice.
Yeah, Drake has that Baptiste ultimate. You have such an option there to play it. And yeah, he drops it, and no one's going to be able to take advantage of it except for Drake, who, again, does not really have a whole lot of damage and should probably be healing. And yeah, so Purple is going to find Brooks very quickly thanks to some Coalescence action from Rack Attack. Salieri does go down. Purple's Diva Bomb does go out, probably just to get them a mech. It looks like maybe their slide wasn't good enough. The cart has now moved very close to completion, but the defensive spawn rate is going to be very high. The Mei wall is going to get almost completely eliminated very quickly. No kills coming in really for either side, but that's just going to allow time for teams to build ults. But Max Dimencio tossing out a Blizzard, that's not good for Citizens.
Yeah, speaking of building ults, a lot of ults coming through as Max Dimencio deciding fit to throw that Blizzard into the fight. And again, the Baptiste ult coming out. Not going to be able to amplify a lot of damage. Might be able to amplify some healing if his team play far back enough. But right now, it's looking like Citizens kind of playing on the back foot just a little bit.
Wow, Drake comes through big with some kills here. Rack Attack is going to go down before the Coalescence really does any damage, and Brooks throws out the Death Blossom and grabs Salieri. Midori goes down. This is it. Redacted finish the map. Unbelievable.
Yeah, some good play coming through from Redacted. They've really made some great time on those first 2 points, which is what they needed. They got a little bit of a snag running on that third point, but, they certainly had time in the time bank. As we're seeing, they got about just under 240 left on the clock. That's going to be very comfortable for them.
Yeah, that's a substantial quantity of time, and what we did not see on Junkertown has in fact happened on Dorado. Finish the map on your first offense, you are in a much better situation to be in, and so that means Citizens literally must finish the entire map to even have a shot at taking it back, the least of which beating a 238 clock, which is, it's pretty good. That's for Dorado, that's pretty solid.
Yeah, and the thing is, now we're going to be seeing that Brooks, that hit scan player we've been talking a little bit about, going to be on defense with the Ash. All right, so we've seen how they play, with the Ash on, a variety of different situations, but I think this only favors them. It's gonna really kind of be pretty cut and dry for Redacted. The win condition allow Brooks to get a lot of damage, get that Bob up, stall the card out as much as possible, get a better time bank, or preferably hold them, somewhere streets back end of streets phase third point, and you're looking in a pretty good spot. Then it's down to 1-1 final map.
Yeah, it's functionally good. Redacted, they Redacted went from being in match point territory to literally actually being safe. They could literally let Citizens finish this map. It still wouldn't result in their loss. So very solid options coming out. Brooks, again, man, double snipers right off the bat from Kuya and Brooks. That's going to be difficult for Citizens to break through. As default note, they're heading back to spawn. Yeah, they're switching up immediately.
Yeah, gonna be a little bit more of a divey style. Purple, too, no surprise, gonna be sticking onto that Diva. And it's interesting.
The gasp. Purple actually on a Winston? Salieri on the Hammond and they're not stalling? What the? Okay, that's hilarious. Hammond literally just rolls right into them, gets a boop of epic proportions, and the fight is on. The hack is on to Drake. Brooks kills themselves on their dynamite. That's a shame because Purple just found Drake. Brooks does get rezzed. Salieri dies for their sins. Purple doing their best Winston job in the background. They're even going to find Kuya. Spawn advantage heavily favoring offense at this point, and the card has moved past the choke, and it seemingly shows no signs of stopping.
Yeah, the card is going, and there's no signs of slowing, as the great Willy Wonka would. But we look forward at here, and there was so much value in that dive from Citizens. They just got so much time on cart. That was a weird stall in that it stalled the defenders off point. So, yeah. I mean, they're still getting massive value out of it, even if they don't win the fight in totality.
Yeah, and the hacks coming out from Mujori early into the fight rather than as the last minute into the fight have been fantastic. Purple's going to find Brooks thanks to some of those hacks, making it difficult for May and others to mount any kind of defense. Already throwing bombs into a very tight space. Blizzard, however, comes out on the cart. That's going to grab Default, who has such low health. It's no surprise that they fall down. Salieri, after getting froze, they also go down. And Brooks is now finally recovering from the shock of the dive. Going to find some heads.
Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and start hyperventilating for the side of Redacted right now. That was looking so catchy for them for a moment, but Brooks and Max Dimencio able to lock it down, able to get those DPS kills that you absolutely need to. They did invest quite a bit of ults. Drake, Dembeck, Carrots, and Max all going to be investing into it. And right now, only Brooks and Kuya with anything online, but they're going to have to watch out for Midori.
Yeah, Midori is going to render any ult bank possible not a problem. There it is. It does. It renders everything pointless. Brooks and Kuya both have their ults. It's not going to happen. But, they do have left click. And that's going to result in some kills. The hack is off. The dragons are here. Citizens just threw an EMP, a potentially fight-winning ult, into a fight that they then proceeded to lose.
Yeah, that's not a situation you love to be in, but it looks like the claims might be, a little bit questionable on the side of Citizens. It looks like they don't want to give up this fight. But in the end, maybe it would have been for the best, as, they're going to invest that Tracer Pulse Bomb too, and to minimal effect as Brooks and the player of Dembeck still going to be up.
Yeah, Also, Brooks throwing Bob into that fight. I think they're going to be looking for that as the Coalescence comes into the fight. The dive is on, and yeah, Brooks gets hacked. They're going to go down way too fast for anyone to be able to do anything about it. Potentially resable, but, you've got a monkey on your butt, and, oh, nope, the monkey's gone. So, even fight. Barriers now out for Citizens. The Blizzard is here. It's not going to catch anyone, but the Dragons is going to split that party, and also, regular, again, tree trunk-sized arrows. They're going to do their damage on Hamster. Wow, okay, 3K coming out from... 4K from Kuya, okay.
Yeah, and, it was looking grim when the dive came by and Redacted all kind of faded past behind the gate, but Max Dimencio having that zoning ult in the May, then Kuya having the splitting ult with the Dragons means a lot of people are going to be trying to avoid cart on the side of Citizens, meaning that progress isn't getting made. That's exactly what they needed to do. It's just a shame that they're not going to have as many ults they might if they kept those in their pocket. Dembeck and Brooks going to be the only ones against Salieri's landmines, though. That's going to cause a zone of the offensive zone now.
And Midori has the hack. Let's see if they can actually make use of it. No, they had to warp out. Not going to have it for this final stalling fight. Immediately, Dembeck gets forced so low. Do they get down? Yes, they do. Default finds them all of a sudden popping off on the Widowmaker, which they switched to for this fight. Brooks grabs purple, though, so no main tank. But Citizen says, you know what? Not a problem. Hack was there for at least some. They get the payload there at the last minute. And so 2.5 minutes to get to B. But man, Redacted, if they push Citizens this far, what's to say?
Yeah, Citizens already kind of in a grim-looking spot. They didn't make as great a first point progress as the side of Redacted did. Redacted, however, gonna be lacking in the ult department. Purple and Salieri both having those tank ultimates online. Zoning and CC just abound for the now attacking team. As well, Rack Attack there to keep everybody healthy, wealthy, and wise, as I like to say. And Salieri might get an early pick here.
Oh, yes, they do. Brooks, one of the deadliest players Redacted can field, definitely down, but they, Citizens, that is, has left the payload in a bit of a pickle, as Drake and Dembeck have decided that they're going to set up on it. And so they halt its progress for a little bit. Another really solid stall. It is going to result in their deaths, but, you know, getting some time out is good. Building some ults is good.
Yeah, absolutely. We're going to be seeing, in fact, in terms of ults, Carrots have that Valk online, and that might also be a quite important kind of stall support ultimate. It's not going to be able to do the healing of a, say, Transcendence or something along those lines, but everybody can stay healed.
Yeah, and Salieri finding Kuya's head, though, that's going to mean Kuya, there's no res. Carrots can't get it, or doesn't have it up, or what, but they do pop Valkyrie. That's going to be damages, but Rack Attack with the Coalescence leading takes Brooks out again. They've found their win condition. Citizens eliminating major DPS before it can do any damage. Hack goes on to Max Dimencio. They fall down. Salieri drops bombs on the point. It even finds Kuya. This is a Citizens that is all of a sudden looking a lot like Redacted.
Yeah, Dembeck going to be doing a little bit of stall on the cart once again, just trying to get it, you know, locked down. Not going to be finding too much success here, but Brooks now in an uncomfortable spot of not only having to potentially get rid of a Bob ultimate, but Ashe doesn't play so well here. She doesn't play as well in these tight, choky, turny, twisty corners, and Brooks going to be going on to the Reaper. I hope for their side it doesn't, you know, come back to bite them.
Yeah, you hate to see it, but it's the definite solid Reaper choice. And as the bongos come out, Reaper is going to be having just a fantastic time, except the hack goes in! The bongos are done! No one can do anything except Brooks, who is going to kill Purple, because that's what Reaper does. He kills tanks.
Yeah, absolutely. Of course, the support's still going to be able to keep everybody up, but Brooks didn't get hit by the EMP, but even if so what? The Reaper's already engaged into the fight. He doesn't need to use Wraith mode that much. He just pumps out the damage. So really kind of EMP resilient there, but now we're seeing the swaps come out from the attacking side. Citizens switching Midori and Default onto the Mei Reaper themselves, but they're going to be behind in ultimates. In fact, Rack Attack and Camp Boyo having the sound barrier.
Default even switched onto the Doomfist there for a little bit, back onto the Reaper, and yes, even if Citizens finishes this map, they're going to be at a time disadvantage once the minute gets added for those escort-style maps. Now it's going to be up to big kills. Hack goes in from Kuya, though. That grabs 3 from Citizens, and the Coalescence is there to keep everyone up, but the Mei Wall is one of the few abilities in the game that makes it impossible for that to happen. Dembeck, however, they get pulled in by Salieri. They go down. Brooks is on the cart trying to do their stalls. Carrots bringing out Brigitte for another hurrah as their own Coalescence goes in. Redacted once again stabilizing. 25 seconds left.
Yeah, it was expensive for Redacted, though, but they're not going to mind. They're still ult up. Brooks going to have the spin to win Reaper ult as well. Rally to keep everybody in armor. And unless the fight goes long, Citizen's not going to have too much. Might have Rack Attack's Coalescence up, given how quickly that thing charges up. But still, this is going to be an all-or-nothing situation for Citizens. They need to get some advantage here.
Yeah, they definitely just did a masterful baiting situation. Dembeck presenting a potential target. Instead, it was a Mei Wall, and Salieri's the one who goes down, but Default popping off! It's overtime, you gotta stay on the card. Default goes down, though, after popping their ult, and the hack is in, but the kills are coming for Citizens. It's a man advantage for them, as again, now the offense must seize the initiative, take the card. Coalescence is there. It's grabbing Carrots. They go down. Drake is also going to survive just barely because Moira's just so gosh darn good at it.
Yeah, and the Death Blossom coming out Brooks just to buy a little bit of time, but then they return Mayo. Nobody on the cart. They all leave in fear of the Reaper. Redacted taking it. Or at 2-2 if my math's not off, Reap.
The song is very clear, Sir Waltham. Don't fear the Reaper. But fear the Reaper they did, and Redacted has brought it up to a tie. This is the ultimate. I love it. I love it.
Yeah, this is the rematch I was hoping we would see. Two teams definitely excited here. Redacted looking to make a name. They want that cash money. They want those dollar bills, and they're willing to holler for it.
Honestly, this is exactly what I was hoping was gonna happen. I was Redacted with the sheer power of preparation to 3-0 Citizens, or Citizens to pull off the other 3-0. We've seen multiple 3-0s like back-to-back on this kind of situation come up. Instead, we're going into a map 5. Like, this is bonkers. I'm just so happy.
Yes, absolutely. A lot to be happy about. And now the question of which map next comes up, because it is still player choice if memory serves, but not a whole lot online. It's pretty much going to be a choice between 3 maps: Horizon Lunar Colony, Eichenwald, and Hollywood. Now, as much as I like to expect it, Horizon Lunar Colony, probably not going to be it. So I think the choice really between Eichenwald and Hollywood.
So Redacted rather is going to have a big chance here to dictate this. Again, there's not a lot of maps left in the pool, so they're going to have a huge say on which one's going to get played. Citizen's still going to be left with 2, but, Redacted's, I think at this point, I don't think you have the room to play mind games. I think you have to get rid of the map that you know that you hate to play.
Yeah. This is a very tense situation. So you gotta think that they're not gonna leave psychology do the talking here. They're just gonna do what they want, because you don't really need to psychology anything when you can just ban a map.
And the ban on Horizon Lunar Colony would at the very least then leave, oh goodness, Redacted has banned Lijiang Tower. So, interesting. Wow, okay. That leaves Eichenwald and Horizon Lunar Colony.
And Hollywood.
And Hollywood, that's right, Hollywood wasn't banned! Oh no! I had forgotten Numbani was banned, not Hollywood. And so the Citizen's gonna be going with Hollywood. That hybrid little situation. And I think that is a really, really ballsy move coming out from Citizens, knowing that Brooks is gonna be locking in the Ashe on point B.
Yeah, I think that's Brooks's DPS play has been one of those things that I kind of love to just watch. Just spectate here. Obviously, we're not seeing the same things that people at home are seeing, but I get that heads up view, and then every once in a while I'll pop in, see how Brooks is doing. It's enjoyable. It's good to to see that Ashe play. I like mechanically skilled heroes. Default been doing good on the Widowmaker, but Brooks has been using that Ashe in a way that it just applies so much more of her kit, because there's so much more to apply.
Yep, and however, though, Hollywood could be, Default's favorite particular situation to be in. And yes, we actually are going to be seeing Redacted jump onto the defense at the start, as it is their choice. So, yeah, I'm really super liking this. And yes, the default on the Widowmaker here is going to be really dangerous, especially given Hollywood's opening pick, actually, for point A. We could be seeing some serious bunker. We haven't seen bunker, like bunker, like Baptiste Mercy, Orisa, Bastion, Hog, bunkers. So I don't know.
Yeah, I don't anticipate that that's going to be a preferred defensive comp. If anything, I think Redacted might lean a little bit more into it, because we saw on Junkertown, they were willing to go with that Bastion for quite a while. That being said, I just think that they're kind of missing out on some of their most valuable tools if they choose to do that. Dembeck been very good on that Ori, but I don't know if I can say that it fits everybody on this team's play style as much.
Yeah, that's definitely going to be true. So the offense is going to be coming in here while we wait for them to get set up and avoid the big debate. Going to throw you one more reminder, as this potentially doesn't actually have to be our last map. There is a tie potential here. But, you know, this could be your last chance to A, grab some Twitch MVP, B, throw us a follow, C, maybe even subscribe, D, all of the above if you're just feeling utterly ridiculous at, I don't even know what time it is anymore, I tend to lose track of it, but we love bringing this action to you guys, and we love having you here, so make it happen. Also, I don't want to spoil anyone in the chat, but, I think one team just threatened to use goats.
And there are multiple threats going on. There's one threat of goats. There's a threat of no cap, and there's a threat of Torb. One of those I'm incredibly excited for, and I'll give you a hint. Torb.
It's the Torbjorn. It's the Toblerone. Oh no!
Are seeing a little bit of a pause come through here. Looks like it wasn't called for by the teams. Going to be seeing if any disconnects are coming in. Do have a few people who have yet to get just popped in. Oh, it looks like we're just doing it to get chat cleared up and ready to go.
Tournament regulations are as tournament regulations be. Sometimes people don't think things actually be like they is, when in fact they do. So we are going to get the opportunity to see the defense, again, coming out a little ahead of schedule. And yeah, it's not quite the bunker that we all know and love, but it's Redacted. They've got the pulled pork action. They've got the May. They've got Brooks on a Hanzo. So first of all, loving that. Let's see if they are as murderous on this particular hero as they are with Ashe.
Yeah, I mean, you're certainly going to have to hope so. And, you know, they're actually not setting up on Cafe. They're just going to keep carrots up there for the healing. They're going to be staying down onto the lower ground. This isn't the positioning we usually see out of a bunker-style composition.
Yes, it's an advantage in range in that your halts can come out much quicker along with your hooks. Salieri rolling in on the Hammond just to get a little quick peek as a damage boosted Hanzo from Midori is going to start making the action happen. The first pulled pork has gone out. It has resulted in nada, in squat. So that's going to be an interesting situation. But, oh, you know, those cooldowns come out pretty quickly. And see how this defense rolls out as the pulled pork, again, not going to be coming in from Redacted, but that's, again, by extension, going to result in default getting picked pretty early.
Yeah, absolutely. And another yoink from Ouya.
Yeah, pulled pork's pick potential is ridiculous. It makes pigs out of the attacking team, and it just ultimately is just a horrible hog of a situation to be in. I'm done with my pig puns, and Citizens looks like they're done taking that, and they're going to be setting up pretty forward here at the mercy of that pulled pork.
And they are just not letting these DPS players get away. Kuya punishing the Hanzo, punishing the Ashe, every opportunity they get, and why not? There's no grouping up from these players, especially the Ashe now.
So this is an interesting situation to play by Redacted. They decided to try and take the high ground from Citizens, but Rack Attack playing the Zenyatta, that means Discord Orbs, and that means their trans was very out quickly. Drake is even going to throw down the damage amplification field very quickly. Rack Attack falls, but I'd rather lose Rack Attack than Dembeck. No main tank is not a good situation for a defense to be in.
Yeah, absolutely. Redacted, excuse me, Citizens are going to be having a tough time.
Yeah, Salieri's going to follow, so the res is going to come in on it. They're going to stay into this fight. Purple now on that D.Va, maybe they can do some damage. The Bongos is here, and Bob is also on the cart. Bob's getting the advantage of that Bongos, but they're going to get napped pretty early into the fight. Kuya throws the whole hog right into the backline. Damage, rather, the Dragon's also on the field. D.Va Bomb not going to grab anything, but Citizens making their claim on the point, even going to grab a tick. And so Citizens continue their play on the point, and it's looking like they are going to actually take it on one of the most drawn-out fights we've seen to date, and that's actually going to pull ults from almost everyone. Rack Attack on the Ana at the last minute, though. They're going to have their nano for this fight for sure.
Yeah, they're going to be feeling pretty okay about that default. Having that nano boost definitely puts the Ashe in that one-hit range, or that one-shot potential range of just getting so many instant kills. Although, that being said, you have to have the accuracy for it, but default proving to be a pretty competent hit-scan player throughout our history of the tournament.
Yeah, so there they go. They actually have the dynamite potential. Dynamite player, really. Just, you know, all around. Default gonna be, ooh, Dragons going in. That's gonna bisect the team. The Immortality Matrix is right there. It goes down, but the Dragons get thrown right onto Default, and they take them out so quickly. The fight now going immediately into Redacted's favor. Despite the res onto Default, I don't think that's gonna make too much of a difference, as Dembeck has decided that only fisticuffs for Purple's D.Va. And with that, Citizens get pushed off the cart finally, but they're coming. Wow, they're coming back very quickly to this fight.
Yeah, the hold port combo not going to quite be landing in that situation in this most recent one we just saw. And there's a lot of ults online for the offense to come out in droves, I anticipate.
Wow, the Dragon's placement was huge. The Blizzard was eaten by Purple, who has made it clear it is summer all year round. And the only red popping up in the kill feed is gonna be Drake taking out Salieri's bongos. Otherwise, the gong has sounded, the kill is on the team. But Redacted definitely gonna have a very solid defense here with their ult lineup.
Yeah, and that did feel kind of like an overinvestment, but when you actually look at the side of Citizens, they still have half their ults online. They only blew half. They still have a tank, they still have a support, they still have a DPS ultimate. It's a nice ultimate composition there, but a lot more on the side of Redacted despite getting Max Dimensio's Blizzard eaten last time around.
Yeah, pick comp once again makes it happen. Mudori grabs the kill. Again, of course, completely unresable. Diva Bomb going in way into the backline, way too high up to do any kind of damage. Salieri, however, has decided, no, it's cool. They got this.
Yeah, and the Dragon's going to be coming out as well, not looking to find anything. But again, the ult play coming out from the side of Citizens just seems to be winning the day for them right now.
Yeah, now super interesting situation just happened there. May had the fire from Bob, they retreated. That actually made Bob start targeting Drake. Batiste was not able to stay up. The cart has hit points B. It's a 3-minute ride now until the end. And Citizens are starting to pull out some seriously excellent stalling, or I guess staggering kills.
Yeah, I mean, that is not a spot you want to be in. On defense, this is kind of the last hope you have in terms of stopping the cart. They're going to have, I mean, and when I say that, I mean the third phase is the last hope you have of stopping the cart, of course. But a lot of ults being just not had by Redacted. They're going to be having 4 members all looking like they just switched up. Kuya going to be going off the hog, perhaps to try to mitigate a lot of the ults from Citizens.
Yeah, speaking of negating some ults, Salieri's bongos goes down faster than it went up. Brooks is, there it is, they were onto the Ash, but Default takes them out. What a flex. Carrot's gonna get the reg, but Max Silencio takes out Salieri. Dembeck having already been down, it's left and right in the kill feed. It's difficult to say who's gonna come out on top, except the defensive spawn advantage is extremely clear.
Yeah, and there's so few people left on the attacker side. It looks like they're gonna at least be getting aggressive on the cart. They're just gonna perhaps try to get a couple kills to set themselves up. But as I say that, good lord.
Yeah, Purple murdering Kuya's mech with the mech call of their own. Just the best flex on the planet. Salieri switched onto the Hammond. Immediately makes it worthwhile. Dragons is on the cart though. Bob gets away. No one can touch it. Citizens finishes the map with no opposition at the end.
Yeah, and this is not a situation Redacted wanted to quite be in. They're going to be facing a steep time bank, similar to the one they had here on, if memory serves, we just played it on Dorado. So, you know, they're going to get to see what it's like with the shoe on the other foot this time around.
And I would not want to be in Redacted's situation here, except that they did do a fantastic job holding point A. If there's going to be any instance where Redacted can beat Citizens very clearly, it's going to be how quickly they bust through this control map. The control portion, I should say. The assault portion, the capture point, the je ne sais quoi bastion. I'm calling it. I'm calling it.
It's questionable, right? Because you know Brooks going to want to play that Ashe. It's looking like that's what they're going to go on to here. And Max Dimencio on that Pharah, we've seen the Pharah be, you know, serviceable at knocking down the defense on the cafe, which, you know, we know that Purple's probably not going to be running the hog. Well, we can see it. The side of Redacted can expect that they're not going to be running the hog because they just are so fond of the diva. So you can think that the high ground has a little bit more value for them.
That would be a hell of a sandbag though, right? At this very last moment when you have the defense, you bust out the hog and Purple just starts ripping out 100% hook. Like, that's, like, come on. However, though, on the side of that offense, Redacted, yes, it's Max Dimencio, it's Carrots on the Mercy, it's the Pharmacy, welcome to the Pharmacist.
Yeah, absolutely, and we're gonna be seeing, surprisingly, not a Mercy, not an Ana rack attack on that Zenyatta to perhaps get a little bit of damage amplification done. You know, you don't have that Mercy to give the damage boost, so you might as well just put a debuff on the entire enemy team, or on one member of the enemy team.
and everyone gets to take advantage of it, and they love it so much. But yeah, Redacted, they understand their win condition. They have set up on the point extremely quickly. They are going to start taking some percentage. Nothing perfect, no kills from either side, but that puts them in a very good position to start making it happen.
Yeah, indeed. We're seeing Max Dimencio really working these angles, trying to get the Hanzo and Mei just to where they can't be on point. Gonna get rezzed up.
So, fantastic play. Mercy gets the reses when it needs to happen. Carrot's taking a bit of a risk, but they are going to get everything back up. And there it is. Mudori is the first to fall from the defense. Any kill the offense inflicts is super important here, and Max Dimencio getting very close to that barrage.
Yeah, absolutely. The amplification field going to come out, and it's just Salieri trying to do their darndest to stay on point. Not going to be able to, though. That Zenyatta kind of lacks the healing, and with Camboyo dropping, it's not going to be able to keep an Aurea by itself.
Yeah, that's the blistering speed that Redacted needed to really come through with. Citizens, back foot. Again, just like map 1. They have been, I think, a bit taken aback by how aggressive Redacted has been. Default, however, swapping onto the Widowmaker. Midori onto the Mei still. This is going to be it. This is going to be the good times. Rack Attack, they're on the Ana. Anti-nades for days.
Yeah, it's really going to depend on how well the side of Redacted can play behind their shields or behind their tanks, so they don't take those unnecessary shots by default. And if Brooks can kill default, that's even better.
Yeah, speaking of which, though, that is just Redacted deciding, you know, enough is enough. It's Bob time. It's Dragon's time. Dragons even gets the final last-minute kill onto Salieri. Default, the last remaining member, typical for a Widow composition. They have to retreat. Unbelievable. Redacted takes that fight so dang quickly. Citizens almost don't even have any ults.
Yeah, and you know, it's kind of a shame that they took it so quickly, because if they had kept fighting while the side of retreating, they would have been able to get more cart push and make it. Oh, Brooks, good lord. They would have been able to make it, like, you know, maybe 2 fights instead of 3 fights during the duration of Streets phase. But, you know, they're stuck with what they got. They're still not letting them get too far down.
Yeah, speaking of which, though, normally that Diva Bomb from Purple would take out the Pharmacy. Instead, it only grabs Bongos and the Immortality Field. Well-played positioning from Carrots and Max Dimencio, and the kills keep coming in. Dembek grabs 2! And the cart is just unstoppable. 5 minutes left for the point C take.
Yeah, and I want to shout out Brooks, saving Kuya's life. Kuya gets slept by the Ana. Brooks, from a high ground, just pops the Ana, takes down the Mercy, or makes a run off anyway, and just absolutely saves that Hans taking an early L. And, you know, it pays off. They're going to get the point, and they have a lot of time on the time bank, as you were emphasizing earlier.
And way too many ults if you're sitting on Citizen side of the field here. Salieri going to be jumping onto the Hammond, Purple onto the Diva. Looks like it's all damage all the time. Very divey, and default on a Tracer. Yes, they are going for picks constantly. Oh, so many ults coming out now from Redacted. No kills. Yep, there it is. Okay, yeah, Citizens, too much damage. Way too much damage.
Yeah, despite Bob going out, not going to quite go in favor of Redacted. At least Kuya picks up a 2. Things are looking a little bit more even. Still going to be very tough for them because of that defender's respawn advantage.
Yeah, Kuya grabs 3. That was one of the sneakiest Dragon plays I ever saw. Right from the cart, right into the path of all those low HP heroes. The cart getting very close to point C. This is going to be it. Dembek getting very close to a Bongos of their own. And no other ults. Drake flopping onto the Moira to get back to the point all that faster. Purple gets D-back so quickly. Default goes low. Purple's definitely not getting back in. Default does get finished off by Max Dimencio onto a Tracer of their own. It's so close.
Yeah, and this is exactly what I was talking about, where that Reaper shines. Brooks hopping onto it, and now that they have first possession of the cart and the defense needs to push onto them, that Reaper is so lethal. If you have to get up in the face of that Reaper, you're not going to be coming out of it too happily. But with almost 2 minutes more, we're going to be seeing Redacted come back, take that 3rd point. I didn't know they had it in them, but they love proving me wrong, and I'm not upset about it.
Yeah, this is going to be pretty interesting, especially given that Citizens have to start first. Well, we just saw what happened there. So they have a minute 52. If they're going to make this happen, it has to be an overtime push to the end. It's definitely possible. We've seen it before. But given Redacted's aggression, I don't know. This if I were Redacted coming out on this defense, I'd be feeling pretty good. If I were Citizens coming out on the offense, I would be. I don't know if you have anything left in your A game tanks, but you gotta bring it.
Yeah, absolutely. You have to think Default gonna really be picking their DPS comps because it seems like a lot of the plays, Default has either been there for the team or they just kind of haven't. And I was talking about how the Widow might be so crucial for them on that Hollywood second point, and it was, but it was crucial in the fact that it wasn't quite there. We didn't see Default get those kills early on, and because of that, the flood of kills came through from Redacted. I think Default going onto the Ashe provides a little bit of a happy medium there, however.
Yes, definitely. This is going to have some point potential. They have a solid option, but it's... Oh, look at the solo tank. Dembeck, the only main tank coming out for Redacted.
That's an interesting choice here. We're seeing 3 DPS, 2 snipers, and the Mei. And I'm gonna be very interested to see how this comp works around the double sniper comp of Citizens.
That's not going to be a good situation. One of Redacted's best advantages in these fights was the pulled pork potential. Max Demencio goes down, has to get rezzed immediately. Midori goes down, also gets rezzed immediately, but Dembeck, they ain't coming back. And despite the kills coming out from Brooks, you know they had it in them. Citizens is going to take this point.
Yeah, Citizens going to be trying to claim it, but just the stall coming out from Redacted, and that's exactly what they need to do. Not even a question of is it a reasonable play or not. They need to burn time off this clock so that over time it lasts as long as possible, make it as easy as possible to knock just everybody off the cart and get it to stop where it is.
Yeah, but yeah. Again, you have no choice if you're in that situation. You have to stall as long as possible. Heck, you might even have wanted to throw out some more heroes there, but Purple actually gonna go down pretty quickly in that fight. That's kind of funny. But so now Citizens, yeah, they're definitely in. This is officially one fight territory. The cart's gonna go to a point, and it's just not good.
It definitely is. Well, it's not quite one fight territory, but it is one side of Citizens. They cannot let this cart drop. But Brooks actually getting a couple opening kills, and you know, as we said, it's a one-loss territory. It's looking like there may be enough time for a second push by the side of Citizens.
If you're Purple, unless you were literally about to get ult, you have to go back to spawn, switch a hero, get back into that mech. It's your only choice. Brooks, again, finding kills. No stagger is a good stagger, and at a spawn stagger in overtime, that's not good. Default is going to have Bob for this fight, but Brooks is going to preempt it. Uh-oh.
Yeah, a very interesting Bob coming out there. They threw it into the cafe, assuming though nobody can get kind of that wrap around flank. But the Mei ult coming out, that's exactly what they wanted. Gonna put some pressure onto that cart.
Wow, point blank dragons plus a blizzard means no citizen goes unpunished. Except they're the ones murdering. Drake finds a 2K with the Orbs of Doom, but no, they're still on the cart. They can't make it happen despite the dual support combo against dual tanks.
Yeah, it's going to be Carrots and Brooks, or Carrots and Drake look like they just want to get out of there, regroup with the team. That's smart. You don't need to win this fight. You don't need to stall. It's already in overtime. You just need to get them off the cart, and that's going to allow you to be happening with Dembeck's damage amplification bongo.
Bob's on the point. Rack Attack is down so fast you can't even say it. Brooks grabs so many kills so quickly. Overtime goes down so fast, they were still putting on the kill feed. So, Citizens takes point A, though. This is not going to be a tie. This is it. It's do or die.
Yeah, absolutely. And things are really turning around for the side of Redacted. Not, you know, in this fight, in this match, but historically. You know, if you had told me based on the fight we saw last time that these teams would be going throat to throat for the prize cup, I'd be like, all right, prize cup, sure. But, you know, not a 2-3 with such aggressive times we've been seeing on the clock. This is pretty wild as far as I'm concerned. 3 ends. I think that Redacted just has to put on a decent performance to be able to take this.
Yeah, whatever defense comes out from Citizens, if they lose point A, there is no spawn, time buff coming in for this one. This payload is in a very interesting position, and if Citizens does not die quickly, if they lose point A, it is going to be a race to get back there, and they might be able to pull off the spawn camping that Redacted did that bought them so much time, which was huge and turned out to be big, but Redacted just have so much gosh darn time on the clock.
Yeah, I mean, you look at it, almost 4 minutes. That's a very comfortable spot. They're going to have Brooks on that Ashe. Max Demencio on the Pharah. With the Pharah, it did take a little bit for them to get going on that first point. It felt like that first fight was a bit longer. but they have at least a slightly comfortable time bank to work with. They're not going to be going up against a team that's huddled up onto the cafe, though. May not be able to use those concussion blasts as much as they'd like.
All right, default. It's no Ash. It's no Widowmaker. It's just pure McCree. This town literally ain't big enough for the two of these teams. One of them has to go down, and right now it's not going to be any kills for either side. But Max Dimencio finds default. But again, I'd rather have the main tank. Dembeck goes down very quickly into the fight.
Yeah, absolutely. And with Drake falling, there's a well, not a lot, but there are some members of Redacted falling that just doesn't look like it's going to be the push for them. But that's okay. These guys just thinking probably about the old game, what they need to accomplish here. And, you know, something we didn't touch on before this round started, purple on this hog.
Yep.
Just the fact that it's such a big change for the character, or for the player, feels like it's exploitable a little bit.
Yeah, but the sandbag was there. Their hooks have been on point, and Max Dimencio, after getting a taste of it, they're switching on to the Mei. They know that the hog is there. Kuya is on it as well. It's pulled pork duo. Both DPSs go down. One of them's resable. The other one hasn't happened yet.
Yeah, but we're going to be seeing Kuya go down, and a lot of trades going back and forth. They're going to be losing that tank, but the Bob coming in.
The Bob gets napped, even as Ana gets tossed up into the sky, and Purple even gonna find carrots. Dragon's already on the point, forcing out the cooldowns. Purple does go down, but Dembeck falls immediately. There's no mercy in sight to get this res.
Yeah, this is tough. It's looking so good in so many of these fights for the side of Redacted, but they just keep losing them by hairs, it feels. And we're going to be seeing, luckily, no major ults coming out from these, well, luckily for the side of Redacted, no major ults coming out from Citizens. It's just going to be Purple and Default. Default not having the most success with that high noon, and they're not running the Pharah anymore, so you're not able to lock down that aerial capacity with that ultimate.
Yeah, the bongos are in, and with the Baptiste, it's high damage all the time. Ooh, Purple and Midori get taken out. This is pretty much set and done, and this is where Citizens need to die. They need to die as quickly as possible.
They do not look like they want to let it happen, though. Salieri going to be getting sectioned off. That may have been a little too crucial. If they can, like, stagger out Default, they're not going to get it. But there's a minute left, and that's okay for Redacted.
Yes, Redacted, plenty of time. Citizens kind of finish it off at the end of there. I think they realized at that moment, at that crucial moment, we must die. And Default, being left alive, kind of a necessity, could have stalled it out a bit more. Now Citizens is going to have, they have a shot.
Yeah, but Default not switching onto the Widow crucially means they're not going to be able to take advantage of this high ground, at least as readily. But the high noon is going to be coming out.
The Immortality Matrix is going to make it difficult to get kills, but Purple finds Brooks, so that's huge. Big source of damage gone. But Bob putting in the work even after Brooks is gone, and then Rez, the point is there! Redacted with the revenge!
That was incredible. Redacted going to be taking it. The McCree from Default just not there enough. Just a few feet away. This was one of the most satisfying games to cast, and in the end, it's going towards Redacted. A little bit of the underdog story. If you're a fan of Rocky Balboa, you might like to hear that happening. But, congratulations, Redacted. Don't forget, folks, before we get on to our exit interview, definitely throw your votes in. Let us know who was popping off. There were a lot of options here.
Yeah, please, please, let your voice be heard. Make that vote happen. Holy moly, what a match. I don't even know who would even come in. Congratulations to Redacted, of course. Well played by Citizens. You fought your dang near darndest, and what a hell of a match it was, taking it all the way to point 5. Map 5, that is. I guess it was technically the 5th point Redacted took that made it happen, because 5-4 final score, like what a, semantics aside, hell of a match from both sides. I think we have potentially our interviewee from Redacted going to be joining us in the booth here, Dembeck, the main tank, the Orisa man with the master plan.
Yeah, we will just be waiting a few minutes while they get in here, but I hear a ding that indicates our main tank player gonna be coming in from Redacted. Dembeck, how you feeling?
Oh, I'm tired.
That was, first of all, congratulations. Those were some very intense games, it seemed.
Thank you. Yes, very close. Full energy till the end.
Well, now you're going to be able to get a little bit of sleep after we ask you just a few questions, my friends. We noticed that you were playing the pulled pork combo, the Ori hog combo, quite a bit. Is that one of, I guess, Redacted's kind of lean-ons? Is that something they like to put a lot of force into? And if not, what do you guys prefer?
It's just what we've been practicing the most right now because a lot of people have just been running bunker, and a lot of the time we can outplay other bunkers. So that's what we stick to mostly. But we like to think that we're very flexible. So we'll play whatever.
Yeah, I'm going to argue that I think that thought is pretty accurate. We saw some really solid play coming out from pretty much everyone, and I don't think any single match, I don't think you guys should be upset about any of them. So coming into this one now, it's been a long time since I've seen Redacted get to rip into some good solid Overwatch. So going into this match, how much work did you guys do for some prep going up against Citizens for round 2?
This morning we got on at about or I guess it's not morning, gamer morning, I guess, 4:30 p.m. We were all on, and we were together playing Minecraft, and on our second monitors were Citizens VODs, and we were going over them and talking about them. And we were preparing all day today, and that doesn't even count all the scrim hours that we've put in since the last time we've met them at this tourney. So a lot of work.
Yeah, I definitely think that you can see that work has paid off. You can be a little honest here if you like. I feel like, well, let me just ask you this way: how did it feel to beat the team that kind of sent you to the losers bracket?
Relieving, knowing that not saying that either time is a fluke for any team, but like knowing that we can improve and pull ourselves back, especially because last time was a 3-0. It wasn't really close at all, but this time it was a really close game, and it just felt relieving to be able to put it back to them.
Yes. I'm gonna say my nails aren't a big fan of it, but like I personally am super enjoying the very, very, very highly skilled, solid play coming out from both these teams. So I wanna throw another thing out here for you. Coming in there at Hollywood on the end there, it was a little scary seeing you guys roll out on the defense without Kuya on the hog. What was the thought there?
Most of the series they were running Orisa Diva. And if they're running a Diva, that means their win condition is to just sustain, and they're not going for pull hooks, obviously, because they don't have a hog, but instead they're going for picks with their snipers. So we said, hey, if we go more snipers, we beat them. So we just went more snipers.
I dig it. Ultimately, it definitely worked out in the end. You held on long enough on point A to make the final play happen onto the streets phase, so can't fault that at all in the slightest.
Yeah, I have a question going back to what we were talking about a little bit earlier about you guys studying the VODs for Citizens, all that good stuff. Were you guys kind of thrown in the first couple games when they had a substitute? Were you guys kind of unsure about how to play with this person instead of default, or what was your thought process there?
I think our thought process was, treat them as the same team no matter what, like, because at one point for a couple maps they had 2 subs because default's internet went out. But we said this is the exact same team. They're going to use the exact same strategies. Stick to what we were practicing and what we were thinking earlier, and it'll work out.
Well, workout it absolutely did seem to do, and with that, I'm all out of questions. Three, if you have any more from Dembeck before we let him go?
I got really just one more, and I think, no pun intended, this is going to be the money question. Are you ready for Wednesday?
Oh, absolutely. Phase 1, they are good friends of ours. Always, like, we love each other. We've scrimmed, and it's just a great time. And in past tournaments, without Citizens being there, we're always the matchup in the finals. So we always see each other, and we always have a great time. We love playing against each other, so we're definitely ready.
Wow, everyone, you guys heard it from Dembeck themselves. We are in for a hell of a match Wednesday night at 9 p.m. But for now, congratulations on the Losers Bracket Finals. Redacted. See you in 2 days.
Thank you.
Now, Three, before we go here, I'll go ahead and get you covered on this one. We do have
Bless you.
The viewers' MVP. And Three, I already have the results here, but you got any guesses who you think the MVP is?
If I had to throw it out from either Citizens or Redacted, I would say Brooks is a solid choice. Max Demencio, had some solid plays. Of course, Dembeck. Salieri, honestly, popped off a bit. Purple had some crazy nonsense. So I'd say all of those are solid choices.
Well, your first one is going to be the money. It's going to be Brooks as our viewers MVP. So congratulations, Brooks. And while we're going down the list of congratulations to Redacted as well for getting that W today. The big W, going to be sending them into the finals. You'll love to see it. You'll love for it to be as well. One final thanks to Sniper Dan subscribing earlier in the cast, as you heard my buddy Threep mention. But I think with that, we are about ready to wrap up, aren't we, Threep?
Yeah, that pretty much covers it. Don't forget, however, throw us the follow. Make sure your notifications are on because Wednesday night doth approach 9 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time for the grand finals of the Overwatch All-Star Brawl presented by Star Esports. And frankly, it's just been an absolute delight. I have been Threepwood007. Catch me on Twitch or Twitter at Threepwood007.
And likewise, I've been Sir Waltham. You can catch me on Twitter or Twitch, Sir Waltham, Waltham. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Remember to drop us those social media endorsements if you feel so inclined. We hope to see you Wednesday. Take care. Stay safe out there, everybody.